Michael Clark is chairman. Can I get someone to move? Okay, Costin, Chuck, and Scott. And all in favor? Carried.
Just sticky thing?
Please, thank you.
Just moving close to that, yeah.
That be it resolved that the Council of the Arm of Rosedale approves the agenda for July 8, 2022. Is there any addition from anybody?
We talked about the road, want to talk about that some more?
Probably not. We discussed.
Hydrant update, so that,
Hydrant, okay.
Mr. Braun for a minute, he's not here, but it's not voted, but a request for it.
I get one from the phone.
Okay, can I get someone to move on that? Summers and Sure. All in favor? Both carried. Mr. One, Bruce is not here. Used to writing 7 down. That the minutes of the regular meeting held June 10th, 2022 be adopted as circulated. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes? If there's any errors or omissions? If not, can I get someone to move? Burton and Scott.
You lefties.
And all in favor of this? Carried. That the council approves the accounts for the month and amount as follows. June 2022, general is $123,605.72. Water is $1,347.13. Can I get someone to move? Okay, Summers and Costin. All in favor? That we, the council, agree to adopt the June 2022 financial statements. Who will move? Scott, Summers. All in favor? Okay, this is Is Jeff coming? Do you know, is Jeff coming? Okay. So this is at 10:15, bit late for this public hearing. Should you check me with Jeff? Just phone him up, 3277-476. Usually comes, but we better check. Let's go down 7.9. Kelwood Development Committee funding for shingles for Kelwood Male Shelter.
I'd like to,
You know,
yeah, I'd like to be able to give them $500 of my VLP money to help put shingles on the roof.
okay, so we'll wait for that for a resolution.
Okay.
Resolution.
Is Mr. Drew coming today?
I ran into him about a couple of weeks ago and he said he was gonna give a quote, but I think he's busy.
Okay.
So I think he did give us a revised quote, I think, on
Okay, because I think we picked it last night, and I couldn't get a hold of Daryl Kane, he was busy doing everything else, but he's not finished. How far from the finish line, I don't know.
Okay.
He's not finished the muddy and digging part in there, but there's some electrical stuff laying around the roof there before,
Oh,
on the floor, so just whatever. And the utility room box, of course, which is loose here.
oh, Jeff is here. Colleen was just calling me because our cell phones, they're not working.
Well, they rock and roll.
Check this.
Just have a chair there.
Okay.
A little bit early, but that's okay. I guess we'll wait. Being that you're here, was it you that got
Yeah. Hi, Jeff. I wondered if you could do us a favor from your office. When you do send a letter to one of our ratepayers, would you either CC us or give us a bit of a heads up?
Yes,
Would you do that, please?
yes, anybody, everyone?
All of them, because then I'll know that you've sent one. Because only the neighbor I've sent, and that turned out to be not such a big deal as she had,
Yeah,
but I was blindsided, so,
I understand,
okay, thank you.
will do, yeah,
Perfect, that's all.
yeah, that's no problems.
I knew you would, I just haven't.
Yeah.
anything else for Jeff before we go to the public meeting? No?
Is that gonna be a concern?
The house,
Yeah, you've been?
we went in there yesterday,
Okay.
it will be.
Foundations for
The foundation's done, it's full of water, and that's not gonna help it. If it had a foundation, I think the house would be a concern, but I don't think it's, personally, I don't think it's fixable, but I think the way we talked yesterday, we was like, well, you kinda gotta work with her, and asked her to at least just to fix up some of the falling off siding, and there was a lot of holes from the outside into the foundation, where you can see something going down. Just at least to keep rodents out, and to keep any hazards out of the way, but
And she's willing to do that?
yeah. Yeah, but I think its lifespan is done.
Well, every house in town, well, most houses in Keller are getting old, right?
Yeah.
Age on them, so.
Yeah, like I said, even, actually, we got was thinking last night, get a hold of her, at least pump the water out of it or something, I mean, they're all across spaces, it was full of water, like,
it stays in there for the winter.
yeah, it stays in there,
So
freezes
much
in the winter,
foundation on there.
Yeah.
then it doesn't help her any good, but, I guess I wouldn't put a permit on the house. If that helps. It's not falling down, it's not immediate danger to the public or anybody, but I wouldn't put a permit on it if somebody wanted to fix it. Yeah.
Because she'd asked me that question before, and I said, you'll have to ask him,
Yeah.
because he's the guy that.
Well, that's what I said, I guess we we felt for position at current time, so, I said, at least we can do this to keep the building up a bit and, keep things from getting in it, and, but, I said then we would do it again, but if she doesn't want to do anything, if it's longer, she spoke of selling it, she spoke of what happens if it goes back to the municipality, so I'm not too sure what she's doing there.
Yeah, that's her decision to make, right at this point, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
We were at Mr. Morley's as well.
Okay,
He seems pretty well. He's gonna work with it.
oh, okay.
The only thing I told her, like, he wants to keep the vehicles and some of the equipment there. He said he's willing to, he's gonna clean all that metal and junk out of that hole and fill it in. He's gonna have all the grass cut and get rid of all the scrap and the stuff that's laying around in the bush, but he said the vehicles are good and he wants to fix them up. And I said, see, at least if they were brought into one spot further back in the yard in a somewhat of an orderly manner, I said he'd probably feel for the work he's doing would be acceptable.
We'll start there.
He seemed very accommodating and he was already working as we were there and,
There's a couple loads of gravel there too, and it was yesterday, so,
yeah,
or Phil, like you.
yeah. So, he just said it was gonna take some time, so we were just talking, we were giving him like 2 months or something like that, 60 days, and we'll do it again there, and if he's still working at it, that's great. If he stalls, then I guess we speed him up.
Okay, no, that's perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kicking, pretty busy too. lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, it's all still pretty good. It's kind of quieted up a little bit. We've got a few things caught up, but there's still plenty. It's one phone call away from being a crazy day, so.
Of course, eh?
If you got a Rogers phone, today's a good day to be glad.
Yeah, I know.
It's not helping, I'm on MTS and it ain't helping it either.
Oh, there you go, either way.
I had a call at 3:30 in the morning this morning, went to voicemail, I go to answer this morning, oh, no service. What the?
MTS is nothing to brag on a good day, so.
Finish the change after.
Well, before Bell took over, it was good. Now it's just garbage.
Okay. That we do now adjourn our regular meeting at 10:15 a.m. to hold a public hearing regarding William Friesen, Maynard Friesen, and Lois Friesen variation order and conditional use request on Southwest 22/17/15 WPM. Can I get someone to move on that? Summers and sure. All in favor? Carry. That the public hearing now will be open at 10:15 a.m. And get someone to move. Burton, yes. Passenger. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, Jeff.
Scott will take this.
Oh, sorry, it's not that, but
We got an application, this one will be for William Friesen, Maynard Friesen, and Lois Friesen. The application number is V-CU-3-2022-R. The variation proposal is to decrease the minimum setback of the south boundary to the house from 125 feet to 38 feet. And also to decrease the minimum setback of the west boundary to the house from 125 to 45 feet. And the conditional use is to allow the location of a single unit dwelling within the general ag zone. And the areas affected are the southwest, 22, 17, 15, 86159 Road 99 North. And for support would be to satisfy the subdivision requirements, to sever the 10-acre parcel from the noted property.
any other, do you have anybody other, no negativity or no comments or nothing over there?
Nothing from that we've heard from the office.
Okay. Okay, any questions from council? That's an average work, right? You're familiar with that? Okay, that the public hearing now be closed at 10:17 a.m. Can I get someone to meet? Scott and Messenger. All in favor? Carried. That whereas a hearing was held on Friday, July 8, 2022, to hear representation for or against a proposed conditional use request by William Friesen, Maynard Friesen, and Lois Friesen on Southwest 22/17/15, and whereas there is no representation for or against the proposed conditional use request, now therefore be resolved that the Council of Rural Municipality Rosedale approve the conditional use request to allow for the location of a single dwelling within the AG agricultural general zone. Can I get someone to move on that? Sure. And Burton. And all in favor? Carried. That whereas a hearing was held on Friday, July 8, 2022, to hear representation for or against the proposed variation order request by William Friesen, Maynard, Friesen, and Lois Friesen on Southwest 221715 West, and whereas there is no representation for or against the proposed variation order request. Now therefore be resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of Rosedale approve the variation order request to decrease the minimum setbacks of the south boundary to the house from the required 125 feet to the proposed 38 feet within the AG Agricultural General Zone. And further be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Rosedale approves the variation order request to decrease the minimum setbacks of the west boundary to the house from the required 125 feet to the proposed 45 feet within the Agricultural General Zone. So move. Summers and Sure, and all in favor. Carried. And that is it. Anything else?
We should have a second one.
Oh, the chips, right, yeah. Okay, that we now adjourn this regular meeting at 10:20 a.m. to hold a public hearing requested Cameron of Tibbet Enterprises Limited in Southeast 81615 West. Can I get someone to move? Scott and Sure. All in favor? That the public hearing now be open at 10:20 a.m. Who will move on that? Joe and Scott. All in favor? Carried. Okay, Scott.
The application would be B-CU-04 2022R. The owners are Tibbet Enterprise Limited. The applicant would be Cameron Tibbet. The variation proposed would be to increase the lot 1 from the maximum 10 acres to the proposed 16 acres. And the conditional use would be to allow the location of a single unit dwelling within the AG Agricultural General Zone. The areas affected is SE 8, 16, 15 West, and 91024 Road 88 West. And for being supported would be to satisfy the subdivision requirements to sever the 16-acre parcel from the noted property.
Okay. Any questions from council? You ever heard, no
concerns.
concerns?
So that's pretty standard subdivision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that the public hearing be closed now at 10:22 a.m. And who will move? Scott and Summers, and all in favor. That whereas a hearing was held on Friday, July 8, 2022, to hear representation for or against a proposed conditional use request by Cameron Tibbet on Tibbet Enterprises Limited on Southeast 81615 W, and whereas there is no representation for or against the proposed conditional use request, now therefore be resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of Rosedale approve the conditional use request to allow for the location of a single dwelling within the AG Agricultural General Zone. Get someone to move. Burton and Sure. And all in favor. That whereas a hearing was held on Friday, July 8, 2022, to hear representation for or against a proposed variation order request by Cameron Tibbet of Tibbet Enterprises Limited on Southeast 81615 W, and whereas there was no representation for or against a proposed variation order request, now therefore be resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of Rosedale approve the variation order request to increase lots 1 from the maximum 10 acres to the proposed 16 acres within the AG agricultural general zone. Can I get someone to move? Scott, and Kostychuk. And all in favor? Carried. Now that is it.
Actually, just one update on, there was one other property that we had set an order on, was it Neil?
I think so, yes.
It's just basically around the corner there, who's that old
Little shack.
dilapidated shack or house there.
Yeah.
We sent them a notice, but we didn't get any response back.
Okay.
I believe it's still there.
Yep.
Basically following it up from a couple years ago where we
Yep.
did, they requested time, it was COVID time and they had stuff over there. So we're gonna be following up with that with an order too it'll be registered letters, so at least we can document that they got it. And if they don't tear it down, then probably just send that to the municipality to clean it up, to get cleaned up.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple of years, but we gave them a little time there because they were,
elderly too. so-
they were, but, last that I did speak with them was, I think it was last year, and they said they had everything out and they were going to have it demolished, so we did nothing last year about it because I was under the impression that we did do it, so.
Right. Okay, yeah, no, it's good.
We're just gonna follow up on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, perfect, thanks for that.
Sure. And that's it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, have a good weekend, both.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, that's that, so Manitoba Municipal Board, they canceled on us. That was their delegation at 11 o'clock. So, yeah, they're not coming, right, sick or something. So,
That's good. Next week.
what else do you have for us? Do you have, we could go, what, do you have, beautiful plains, like the request?
Here's this,
Oh, that's our offer. Okay. So this was temporary.
No,
so we haven't,
no, that's the first go at that.
that's the first go, we passed the resolution, then we did.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't paid for all that time?
I don't know, I thought I remember seeing other months, I don't know what last month, but I thought I seen it earlier.
That's,
When this one, we got a big lump sum, it's 7 months.
I think that's wrong.
I thought we
I
got
thought I
it.
seen it,
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that long ago that we,
Really good kick. I thought we paid this monthly, and I swore I seen it.
do.
is that a mistake maybe?
Oh, no, we haven't,
Oh,
we haven't received anything till,
okay.
Michelle checked on that, so. We haven't, they haven't told us before now.
Oh,
Really?
Usually they bill us monthly, but
Yeah.
geez, I guess it just, I thought I seen
No,
that.
I did too.
Doesn't seem that long ago, because we were always getting that every month,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was talking that.
which is not one thing ever went to it. That's too bad, man. That's just a freaking waste.
20 grand.
Satisfied environment.
Whereas an offer to purchase lot 3, block 4, plan 545, roll number 47800 and 47900 in the village of Keller, Manitoba, was received in writing on June the 5th, 2022. Therefore, be resolved in the Arm of Rosedale, council agreed to tender these lots by public notice as stated in the Arm of Rosedale land sales policy. So, can I get someone to, Burton, and second, Summers, and all in favor? Carried. So we'll advertise that.
It's a lot. But it's.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
LS, yeah.
There's gonna be lots on there because we had to do extra.
I said there was some, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they shut the plant off, and fix the line,
And
and also
also,
Smith up the line, and they shut the water
and
off.
also from town, we have to do extra testing.
Oh, that's before, from here, to the Eden side, so it's not all killed, yeah, right?
No, that's,
And we get the hall in there too, the hall was done, right about August, done every 3 months or 4 months. So that'll be an extra test in there too. And then Cheyenne's regular test first, or,
Yeah.
yeah.
do you have a letter for this, Colleen, or just request? So, and I believe, did we do this last year, Colleen, do you know?
Oh, I don't,
For the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation, dear potential sponsor, the J.C. Lavich Hard Hat Golf Tournament is being organized by John Lavich and a group of volunteers to raise money for the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation. And it's held on August the 19th. And if you want to become a sponsor or donate a prize to the event, Platinum sponsors $500 and for entries. The goal is from $4.99 to $300 to get one entry. Bronze is $300 and get recognized for the event. Social media signage. So they're asking for us to be sponsor organizations.
We didn't do that last year.
That's
a new thing.
That's a new
Yeah.
one.
I like it, COVID was not.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that I think it's duplicate from, I
Yeah.
don't remember that one.
No, it's good cause though.
You were waiting for it for a while.
No, we're not done, that's the one that was broke today in the reset, so we should discuss that, and not the money, just the fact that we should do multiples, not one at a time.
So do we wanna be involved in this? Do you just wanna,
How much for the?
600, wasn't it?
500, $4.99 to $300. So there's a bunch, or just random, or bronze sponsors, $300 to $0. There's 3 different, or just a donation, the prize, I guess.
You just take the VLP.
I would suggest,
$200 a piece.
$100 in.
Yeah. $200 a piece.
Yeah, I think Bruce is on here, so 500, sure.
They'll take
So
the
Bruce will put in 300.
Yeah. We'll sign for him. Yeah, good, we'll sign for him.
So, yeah, we better not.
No,
Just go.
What's 500 give us?
It'll give us the platinum.
Yeah.
You get 4 entries
That's good.
to the golf, that's in the back. Social media, volunteer.
We get four entries.
yeah.
Well, I'm not golfing.
Short straw,
You know,
short
that's
straw,
all
that's
there.
no golf.
So, Ward 1, 100.
Yep.
Ward
2.
2, 100. Just only Bruce's. Then Ward 4, 100. Ward 5, 100. And Ward 6, 800, just like
Yes. I love golfing.
that we, the council, agreed to grant Beautiful Plains Community Foundation Inc. $500 as sponsorship for the J.C. Lavich Hard Hat Golf Tournament in 2022. Ward 1, 100, 2, 100, 4, 100, 5, 100, 6, 100. All in favor? No, sorry. Can I get someone to move? Sure, and second, Scott. All in favor? Carried. Just put a date on here. Put a date. Another one, Touchwood Charity Golf Tournament, July 25th. After the past 2 years of pandemic restrictions, as we all know, they hosted an annual charity golf tournament. This one's on the 25th of this year. And fundraising for events for the playground space to become accessible for all the community members. Equipment costs is estimated $40,000 with hopes of the community volunteers for the construction of this project. Your generous donation through either sponsorship or participation in the annual golf tournament will make a significant difference. Excuse me. So the levels at par is, if one of them rate 150 to 299, or a birdie they call it 300 to 499, or eagle is 500 plus. All golfers are welcome as a team. So yeah, we have it before.
No, that that's a golf.
2019, $320 we donated. So I guess we were just about as far.
I think we do this.
I'm good with $100.
Do this.
Everybody,
Yeah, same here.
Bruce is 800 this
That's a
time.
good cause.
it's very good, yeah.
I was just gonna throw it out. Pretty sure you can see that way, you go. That's it.
I would almost pay to see your
Well,
walls.
it's 93, but some.
You'd have to, well, no, so I go one time with Frank,
Way
so
more. Yeah, it will.
apparently it's not just about how far you hit the ball, you gotta hit it straight.
It's like Barnstable, you don't go there.
No, for exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
We, the council, agreed to grant Touch will require $500 of sponsorship for the 26th annual golf tournament in 2022. Can I get someone to move on that?
I'll move.
Councilor Ken,
I'll second.
and all in favor of this?
They're not.
Carried. Okay, this is quote as we discussed at our last meeting for the Kelwood rank electrical pricing for our Rosedale includes everything in accordance to plans except for boiler size is not specified. So includes everything according to the plans except for the boiler as size is not specified. Please note lobby portion of this quote includes the 30K that was approved in June 2021. Eric has materials ordered and started the work, so you're right, so please note the lobby portion of the quote includes the 30K, okay? So the lobby quote is 42,367, but the 30,000 is off, right? Is that how you make out?
I think so. Or we already approved the.
Yeah, we already approved in June of 2021. So I would take it as the balances that,
13,000, 12,000.
and the rate area quote is 55,320. Taxes not included, valid for 30 days. So this is I switched the lights in the ring to a cheaper LED lighting, which provide us with just as much lighting as the ones on the plan. Rink area lights have not been approved by engineers yet. I sent an email, but the lights will not have heard back. I have spoken to them over the phone, and they were very cooperative as I'd like to see the job finished. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, and then yes, there's the $30,000 we did approve. We have the minutes. And that was all except for the breakers, the circuit boards. Emergency lighting, exterior lighting, exhaust control fans for the campground and bathrooms, connection to the handicap doors, 4 electric heaters, 1 in each exit, 1 in the back storage room. Visual inspection upon completion. But we still have to do the boiler.
There's two boilers there, no? For that rate,
Yes, for that waiting.
one for the.
If we're gonna do the foundation, if we're gonna keep that.
No, for waiting.
No, I
Yeah.
do, foundation,
Yeah.
foundation, we don't really need it.
That's what I said, no.
I think that's where we're,
Without it?
I think that's where we're down to one boiler.
Yeah, agreed.
Because there was two, one was for the foundation, one was for the,
Because it's not on the
Now
inside.
we don't need it?
John didn't figure we need, he said that's moved in,
5 years, 10 years.
sitting there that long, so yeah, that moved and all, he said.
So I am gonna step away, it's a conflict, so
Okay.
I'll let you know that.
Sorry, I touched.
That's all,
So
that's
I
all,
don't know if you just approved the balance.
amen, that's all coming out of that new money that we,
How much is the figure that put in there, Mike?
Colleen,
I think it's 12 something, isn't it?
No, it'll be 50,
we
55
approved
plus 30.
30,000.
Oh, yeah.
55
I meant
plus
that's the one,
42?
No, plus 12.
plus 12,
Because we approved 30,
Yeah,
for
55 plus 12.
55,000 plus 12,000.
was 12.
Well, we gotta have the right number.
Oh, you want the exact number?
Here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that.
Just come in.
And a calculator?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, oh, you don't, oh,
Oh boy.
You guys know-
Take a while.
Yeah.
we better check.
Hey guys. 67,687.
67?
687. I did all of them left hand, you guys, just so you know.
687.
Plus taxes.
Yeah, plus the taxes.
So what we're looking for here is $67,687 plus taxes. That we, the council, agree to accept the Talbot skating rink electrical quote from Jury Electric for that figure, $67,687 plus tax. Somebody care to move?
I can move it.
Is that somebody
I'll just
beside
step out here.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Just like day one, eh?
Carried. Okay,
Just like day one, moving on that.
yeah. We may know that was.
Just make a note, Robert, that I remove myself, please.
You should have to remove something.
Yeah,
That's electrical.
well, it's still under.
So it's without it.
Oh, no, I just think it is electrical, that's
We're
why,
already safe.
it wasn't contracting the purchase.
Yeah.
They're the same flag, or he's the DD, where he's at, DD.
No, that's the only reason why I was asking, I thought because it's just jurors.
Still under the wing. Sorry.
Oh, no, I just didn't know. how
Just to
that
be
worked.
safe.
So I go through the two more.
Okay, we discussed this, Ron, at our last, this has to do with Ron's at Curtis Lake. This was for the aeration project. They asked them to table it. So, they're asking for $150 to $200 a month to operate it. Please call, 2018, we gave $200 for the study. But just to refresh everybody, the cabin owners of Curtis Lake are seriously looking to install aeration. And we'll be having a vote about it in the coming weeks, requesting funding to run aeration, possibly partner with Clan William. I don't know if Clan William's on board.
I have no idea.
If Terry had a chance to talk to, I don't know. Mark Loden, who installs aeration, that's the cost of a 5 horsepower unit, which would, that's what Curtis Lake need. That'd be $150 to $200 a month. So that's year round, it's year round station, probably. We wanna,
It's the same thing with the over here, the,
yeah, Park Lake.
basement, so, you know.
Or, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, later.
Whether that's gonna help there, because I met with them, one was June the 6th, beginning of June was, with Kevin Moore and Rodney was there. And there was a couple of other members at a homeowner's site, Rodney Lake, because they still didn't, well, and what do you call it, Ray Fry, like the little,
Oh, yeah.
Similar West, that would be what you mean. Oh, I can't remember her name.
Close.
Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And there's, that study was done in 2018, they took samples of that Brown Lake Lake, of just leaching it Rivers Lake, but they've done nothing with it. It's still sitting in a frozen, I think maybe they told you, it's sitting in a frozen vial area, still somewhere.
Yeah.
So until they do anything, like, do we,
Yeah. Just table it into the
I
house, solid.
think so,
More information.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't know, this is my thoughts, I don't know.
Maybe we should ask them for more information, like.
Yeah.
Ask them if they're,
Clan Williams Park.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
maybe they might wanna know more information.
We only want
The wall or the lake.
versus
That was my question, is well, how much of that is,
90% probably.
Oh, definitely,
There is some floating on Channel inside, and it's gonna be on our side.
definitely.
Okay, Colleen will just, if you can make a note here,
Because I don't know what they're gonna come up with, or if they're gonna try and do some more studies.
just table this one.
Summer, it sounds like it.
Okay,
More studies?
Please, more info.
more info and see if Clan Williams, what's their thoughts.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't wanna do.
I didn't remember, like Victor wasn't there that day, so I don't know.
And do have some other,
This invoice of the fire agreement call from the town.
we're gonna table that still, yeah. We're gonna set up a meeting. Brian was away. I never had a chance to talk to him, but
Oh, okay, they're going to.
Yeah.
Okay,
just table that.
okay. Even waste disposal grounds,
Well, yes, so we went out to the Eden and Calwood landfill sites, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we met, up with the two of them, went over Eden, went through a lot of ideas that we thought was right, or possibility for expanding to the west, but it was getting a little bit too close to the bed of the creek. There's this 1,000-year setback from North Beckley.
Yeah.
Could be varied, but the chance of varying is not the greatest. So they were gonna do some homework on that. Then we met up with the Calvin, we looked at the Calvin, there's a lot of expansion is what they thought. But it all depends on the samples too, clay samples. So basically, we reviewed both of them pretty thoroughly. I think had some good thought process between us all. Did they give you a report? They said,
just emailed and asked about to proceed with a summary and estimate to complete the Calwood feasibility study.
yeah, good examples for us, good information.
the samples are $1,000 a piece. And they didn't think Eden would need the samples, just work on the Calvin. And I think, was it 3 samples? I think it was $5,000 all total, right?
They just dig down, somebody digs down and then
They sent it away,
Yeah.
that was a process, just like septic and all that.
So I don't know what could be there, so was that one so?
Yeah, we can go, yeah, because we're the setback puts us we're kind of in the middle of the pit, if you think about the middle of it, where it is.
Yeah.
And then we discussed there about running the Dougie Woods, which is the same soils, and then we could do some testing there, maybe with Dougie's permission. And because that is waste farmland as far as it goes, so it'd be a perfect expansion, and that would give us another 20 years.
And then a report, so what was the total, $10,000? Does it say there, Tom?
Yeah, it is.
They have to do a report up for us.
Oh, right.
They, was per,
What they've done so far, kind of.
we said we could volunteer, like our backhoe.
Yeah, to leave them, do it, saves us a 4-hour call for someone else.
Why I was asking stuff, because I remember your dad was on some more week, I thought we buried stuff, this stuff.
Well, I think it's more central, more, yeah, this will be going this way.
Oh, shop.
Yeah, yeah.
We might even have to haul clay in there, and then they would allow, haul clay in there, 3 feet of clay.
Make that thing, but I don't think that's necessary. You've done there, that stuff's, that clay will hold,
Well, that's good.
forever, yeah.
Basically.
No, that faster there. The only thing we can do is pack it, right? We take the surface off and pack the clay that's there.
Clay,
He said that, I can't remember his name, but he did, it'll gain you whatever units that is, the more you pack it, the more units you get out of it. So, but that's. And one thing we talked about at the meetings was that Eden's landfill has a pile of shingles. And according to our landfill lady in Kelvin, we can use shingles as cover. So to gain some space there, we can hire a truck to haul 2 or 3 loads at a time when we need them, to dump them over the end of the landfill
Okay.
as cover versus buying clay, because it's hard buying soils. Because I didn't know that till a while ago, the shingles are supposed to go in our household, which would be great for holding the paper, and it helps space in the Eden landfill.
Yeah.
It'll gain a space, so we got, just got a matter of paying a truck to haul, load it.
Yeah.
And haul it, so.
That's the fire that time.
Yeah.
And I guess the worst scenario is, we could haul in clay, which there's clay in the RM, right where we get, right? We take a sample there, send it away, and then we'd have to truck and haul it. But it would be long-term, would still, even if we spent, I'm gonna throw a figure of 100,000, say for example, it would be, lifespan would be
30 years.
30 years
That's it.
versus the hauling, which is
Do it
sort of whatever they
Anywhere
say.
else.
So I think in the long scheme of things,
That's the better one.
that's the right plan.
Agreed, yeah.
It sounds like we have to proceed because we have to put it forward to the minister for approval.
Well, as long as we're working on it, the minister is smoothly understanding.
Is it possible at noon you could give them a call? Because we should get a quote, like just a quote, not a verbal quote,
Okay,
right, paper.
yeah.
So that was verbal, about the clay testing.
Because I thought he was gonna send that for us.
That's what I
was
thought
discussion,
so,
because he was, but maybe just forgot or whatever, right?
For the clay,
He sent it today.
to proceed with the Calwood for the clay samples and results. Like a report up, or I think he called it.
So we're still waiting to hear back from them about the Eden.
I believe Kara, did we get a letter from them? I think they denied us.
Because the setback, the setback is gonna hurt us there, because 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Pretty sure she told me next week.
I didn't know that, because I was waiting for you guys to go see somebody.
Yeah, better hear from them. Okay. 24th, okay, following to our meeting, okay, there we go. Further to our site meeting with council on the 10th. Eden Waste, okay, ECS has prepared and attached a rough site plan showing existing Eden Waste disposal grounds. To the documents by the Manitoba Conservation of Climate. Setbacks to public roads 100 meters, setbacks for surface water is 1,000 meters, so we're really very good there. This, as a result of this, 1,000 meter setback of the water services, any new land, field style construction on this property, however, there's lots to read here. On the Eden one, if the ministry will accept a variance with respect to the surface water body and proximity of the new construction landfill cells, and if so, what would the range of setbacks be? If the ministry would require the municipality to complete a full landfill site investigation on the required adjacent property. So there might be a chance they'd have to ask The Calwood expressed interest in pursuing a new disposal cell, estimating 14 years of life remaining at the Calwood. Discussed with council, indicated that there might be usable clay on site for the landfill self-construction. If the municipality elects to pursue construction of a new landfill site, there is a summary proposed estimated cost for the landfill's feasibility study request. And I don't know where that would be. Estimated cost to complete. And we asked for that, but she didn't say nothing else, eh? Because there's nothing else. You better ask if you don't mind. Then we can maybe move on that. In the meantime, if you could, or whatever comes.
Speaking of quotes, Mike, looking at the time, should we maybe phone what those lower quotes then?
What if council feels in favor?
I think we gotta get
Well, we gotta get something, so.
piece of equipment there.
I just think if we don't get a quote, they're not gonna get into it, we can't, then we're gonna be late. Grass is growing over here.
I know those will have me a book no time. TNC.
Well, Jasper,
Who else is,
well, Jasper, right now, at, small engine
do you know
shop,
his number?
I'll get it.
We should do that pretty quick.
It should be at least two.
Yeah.
Sure. We can break for 5 minutes here. So that way-
What do you call it's got, Troy built over at Mason. We got the Troy built, zero turn. And it's a strong mower too, it's, man-made that, you know.
It's like 23, 24 hours by 56 inch cutters or.
The standard's 54, that's pretty common, and then 60. Buzz will probably give you
And
a
I,
price of
that way
60.
getting one, or,
Yeah, you do have some.
Heavy duty bar, heavy, deck. Does council wanna do that?
Sure.
Give
Gotta do something.
Yeah,
These,
us time,
because it's
as
another,
long as we're on the same page, same size, same more.
well, 54 inches,
Yeah.
it's kind of the
54 or 60, that's the common,
size, yeah.
that's the two.
60's as big as it gets, isn't it?
No, I think it's 72.
Don't get out.
Yeah, not if, so let's give us a cost with the
You
Kelly.
go in the industrial market,
So
it's
we're
72, like the big
big
industrial.
samples,
Yeah.
It's about 12 grand.
like it was all
Oh,
over,
yeah,
so,
but he is
the cost for plate samples.
the biggest one right now.
In a report,
60,
60.
60 and 54.
what are they?
This is what he's there.
From the
Michelle will
shop,
have that
I
fifty,
believe it was 10,000.
because the fire department bought tools for him.
This is verbals, not.
there you go.
Look at that, verbals, verbal, we can send, if they can send an email.
Or
Or,
are you gonna go with text?
it's not by email, so you can't receive
Are
that.
you,
Phone master.
are you gonna go with phone?
I don't know. Where-
All you do is
Yes.
It's gonna tell me yes or no.
Okay.
Because it says
Even,
no service
even
bigger
write
than
it
like
down,
here.
they should have something.
Mine's
Give
gonna
me
be
that,
now.
all the copy of my date.
Service and no service.
So they just know, like, to
Yeah, you
receive
should have that,
that.
mine says emergency service only.
Even when we get the email,
Close for that.
but
Thank
tell them what's most important.
Kelly.
Somebody phoned me from Gordon. 10 o'clock.
Does it sell all of them?
Huh?
I know Four Seasons are online, Husky from Four Seasons is pretty good, just like Clark Cadet. They were about 6 for those, they're all around.
I took my Husky back. I bought a brand new Husky, put it on a trailer, brought it home, took it off the trailer, loaded it back on the trailer, next day took it back to him, said, don't worry.
Why?
It's no space in it, it's too tight. The Cub Cadets, you got space, you
I
can
got all
show.
kinds of space in mine, so I started a different one.
And mine was 54 that I had, but you look at the Cub Cadet 54 and then you look at the Husky, it's,
That's just goes back and forth, and just,
I didn't care for it. But the footing, even with my son, he's 6 feet tall, and I said, gotta bend his knees up to get him onto the deck.
okay, so who's gonna phone?
I'll phone, but you know.
I get a whole buzz.
Have you got it, you
Phone buzzer.
I'll try buzz,
try this up, put his landline here in the office,
but we wanna know what, 54 or 60?
54.
54.
Yeah, and also keep all the same.
The cemeteries will be,
That's
So that
the
on
wrong
road cemetery is gonna be 54, is gonna be too big.
the lots place, yeah.
See, a lot of guys go up in like their 42s and that. Like they were going in between a lot of them, but the bigger one,
Even
it's
if,
gonna be a lot of,
even if 50. But they want big because of the big areas, but it's,
no.
but it's 50 more is.
Yeah, save on hamstring.
Save a lot of action.
Yeah. We should make that
That's
decision.
what will happen. It will be.
If you go too big, you won't be, yeah.
You can,
Big and stuff.
you can get a smaller zero turn, but how small do you need?
Bigger is better.
We know bigger's all nice, but for time, you know.
Well, we could get a TIC and,
That's a swag.
Skates.
who sells those?
That's small shop, they're pretty heavy built though. They're heavy built more as well, they're all industrial as well.
He's in that shop in Peru.
No, right, Mom.
We're
Shop on the curb, that's Jason Cruikshank's now, he's running it,
Does
that's.
anybody phones work or no?
That could work, but
I didn't try, I did,
we're doing it around here though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We get a line, write it down, like very full, try phoning them if you can. You'll all be here at the same time.
you know, like,
We could do that at 10 to 12
Yeah.
if you want. That's okay.
I just think we gotta get time to get a quote though, if we're gonna make a decision day.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
You do it 10 to 12, they're all going for lunch.
Can we order that line?
Same days I'm going.
No.
For this.
seems,
Over
you wanna get a little major, see about that joint roof, or
As well.
they
Something.
got one sitting there.
I'll go see if I can get a phone number for, Jasper from Michelle, she'll pay that bill, so. Probably.
Bring coffee and donuts back.
Okay.
We'll move on to this Kelwood, this just has to do with the Kelwood, post office.
Development, yeah.
So what I gather here is $500 for materials.
Yeah, Joey Martha's gonna do the work on it. And we put them off for free, so they're, and they're only doing the south side of the building for now.
Okay.
South slope, whatever you call it.
For shingles.
Shingles, yeah, just shingles for it's actually a mailbox shelter is what we call it.
What do you do? They chose,
Yeah,
they chose to maintain the post office building, right?
Yeah.
So the locals, instead of having boxes, so. We, the council, need to grant Kelwood Development Committee $500 from the VLT funds to assist with new shingles for the Kelwood mail shelter in 2022. That's our VLT number 6, anybody want to help Earl or just? Yeah,
I'll give
it's
you
$500, so, or that's all split.
sure, okay, that's what she do, yeah.
I don't wanna be the cheap ass, so I'll give him something too.
Just take all of
We
it.
would never call you that, Robert, let's make you buy one.
No, I'm sitting here anymore. I think we always take all of Bruce's, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
That's where it should come from.
yeah, but he's not here, he can defend himself.
So $100 for, except for 3.
That building would belong to the post office.
They did years ago, and then the community bought it. As this committee, this Kelwood Development Committee bought it, and then
Should be like a favorite.
yeah, we can get it all again.
So you still, your meals in little boxes and.
Inside, yeah, that's why we they were outside for a period of time when the store owner left us. And then they reopened the store, put them in the store, and then the store changed hands again, so we put them in the post office. Or, we still call it, it was just a shelter.
Ernie, you want to do $100, like everybody else for the Kelwood, shingle replacement? You're asking $500, okay?
Everybody else put in, sure, I'll go for it.
Okay, so that's VLT 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. $100 a piece, and who will, the Burton and second, Scott, and all in favor of this. Carrie.
Thanks.
And it's June 8th, 22. July, jeez. Boy. Too many papers to sign.
It feels like June up there, doesn't it?
It should be June,
Yeah.
So where did you go? We lost it somewhere.
It's about 20 after me, we'll break about 52. There's our CPs coming at 1 p.m. sharp, so we'll another 20 minutes or so. Do you have some information?
I got from Buzz,
Okay.
and then kinda he gave me a number from Mazer.
Okay,
So he said he'd send a quote email, I said, well, hopefully you get it, he said, you might even just drop it off, he said.
yeah,
And that's a Toro built, they got over there. It's one with suspension. It's got the suspension in the seat, but it's 95.
okay.
Okay.
what they're saying.
Heavy duty.
It's heavy duty, it's 60 inch.
Okay.
And then Buzz has got a 60 inch brand new one, but he sent it home with the guy put an hour and 1.2 hours on it. And it's the heavy duty, bigger unit, it's a 60 inch too. And it's running, he said he gave it to us 8150 plus tax. It's a 24 horsepower, 4-year, $800 warranty. So, and that's their, what they call their low grade, commercial.
Yeah. And it's the Skag mower in Red Mountain is the low commercial one too, they sell, that's all they sell is commercial, there's no residential mowers, 8400. With a 24 inch, but it's 54 inch guy. I mean, I don't think Buzz has a 54, that's why that.
No, he's got the 60, he's got 2 60s there. And it's got the roll bar pulled up, or put down.
Oh, yeah.
But that's quite a, this young guy said the next one up is got a roll bar, but that's room service.
This one comes with it, it's on it, it's ready to go. It's
So what was this, how much?
8150, he said he was at 82 and he said, I'll take down another $50. He said, it'd be 8150. He says it's got the 24 horsepower roller in it. It's the big filters. It's got the big air filters in it, so large capacity. And it's got the big hydraulics, heavy hydraulics compared to the one step down that I got. It's a little smaller hydraulic system.
Yeah.
And yeah, because you can go one step down, you're 5150. First 54 inch, one step down.
That's the residential one.
We were, because we budgeted for more, 40,000, right? But that's, we weren't gonna trade it, now traded, it was 24,000, so we got quite a bit of room there if we need to buy, just saying.
I have another idea
We
too.
never use all that, so much.
He said,
else.
we also get our taxes back, like he said, we get the taxes back with our usage.
Yeah,
That'll be the same engine you got in yours then.
I know it's bigger. It's a bigger air filter style and all that. It's the commercial model.
It's a 20.
Mine's not a commercial model, right?
Is it a 24 horse Kohler?
But it's a Z something or other. He gave me the numbers on it. It's the pro model. Mine's not a pro. Mine's just a lower model.
It's really, yeah.
Well, raising money is trading equipment for equipment. We've got that old international sitting in the back of our shop, doing absolutely nothing. Sell that thing,
The tractor.
that tractor.
Well, we're gonna use that one for that brush mower,
But it
that old brush
We
mower.
don't use it.
I know we should though.
It's messed up.
Well, it's just one gear gone, isn't it?
No, not the tractor, the mower. It's
Oh.
one of those beyond Rivera mowers now, so.
I think it's worn out.
Yeah.
But that's, we should be looking into another brush mower.
Yeah, we should.
Because we don't need to put that new mower into that stuff.
No,
It shouldn't go into that.
No.
I agree, I mean,
Like, I keep that old tractor for that, cause we're not gonna get any money for it. Trust me.
Well, that tractor for.
Well, like a second gear on.
it'll be 50 grand that
It's
tractor.
just one shift and.
Yeah, well, that's what I
And
mean.
even option, I think it's $50,000.
Well, we could trade our tractor and a bobcat with a brush mower, and then you could really do a lot of work.
Yeah. That was the original one I had.
let's go back to our more.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's stick with more.
What did you guys think on this more?
The new Holland or major group was 9, you said?
95.
95, you were
84.
81.
Mine was 8150.
54, those are 60s.
60.
Low 60s.
Here.
And that's the industrial one with the roll bar too.
Yeah, this one's industrial, one of the bars.
I advised Buzz, but that's just my,
Did he have it?
It's in stock.
just
Just,
my advice to Buzz.
Buzz.
Yeah. That's
I
just.
never asked about warranty, which was a question.
Yeah, this one's got a warranty, 4 years,
Yes,
$800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't go through the headstones anyways.
It's not gonna go regardless, yeah.
Leave it out, because the outside of it.
60 inches or 6
Yeah.
inches more.
Well, that's 60 inch, you take in Big Valley or Cruise Lake, they're gonna go a lot down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We just use the smaller mower in the
Other spots.
smaller spots.
It's
It'll still have it.
Well,
This is what this.
I don't know.
That's
That's-
steering clutches, eh?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
No steering wheel.
Well,
No,
that's-
it's all,
We need to
it's all in.
Yeah.
He didn't even recommend the steering wheel.
No.
So as soon as they said for the arm, he says, yeah, I got one here, he says it'd be a good one for you.
The only thing that this guy's got, even though he's more money, is he pays taxes in those
Yeah.
small child. No, Buzz does, but TIC doesn't.
Yeah, Buzz pays with.
Yeah, TIC.
Yeah, TIC does too. They have
Oh, yeah.
land,
Yeah, TIC does,
Okay.
too. They got lots of land there.
Yeah, they do.
Because I drive a TIC mower too, I just say, this young guy pays.
We can tell you lives across the field from me.
Yeah, he's, lots.
Okay, no, that's cool, that's all good. It's just-
But the grounds is well fit in our,
Great.
area.
I'm gonna fill a little trailer, we'll fit there.
Thanks, Darryl, and ask him.
You're gonna cut the torch, you're just gonna take.
Off the mower.
Well, how big's the mower we have now? 50?
It'll be 54 probably.
Should.
Should do it. It doesn't.
It's a very good question.
Just say it, I don't know.
It's not hard to modify a trailer, a little flat,
No,
pretty easy to modify.
We said it faster than more.
Huh?
We said it faster than more.
There's little skids on it.
Yeah, we'll jump yet.
Well, we discussed it over lunch if you want, at least we got quotes now, we can make a decision.
I think we gotta buy something.
Yeah.
That's good,
Oh.
get behind it. Just
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about,
what else? People
Yeah.
talking about it, yeah.
Well, especially at the cemeteries, you know, you gotta
it look pretty
try
rough.
and keep up.
It's in Big Valley, hasn't been cut either, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hasn't cut.
Not much, we gotta clean that up, I think that's what we're on paper, but.
Actually, Wesley did it himself, Bryce Larson. Right there. Yeah, so the camping, so we just, I was on board, but he says he did it, so.
Who's that?
Bryce Larson.
Oh, yeah. The bracelet that goes hanging. Start comes through there for myself.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Just got that.
Okay, let's see this,
There's another guy from TSU.
on, anything else, Colleen, do you have? So we go through,
Is there anything from this that's, that we should go?
oh, the local urban district, do you guys read all the minutes from the Calwood? Okay, was there anything that you want to discuss? Agenda, okay, I did read it.
Board meetings. Sorry, I didn't read it, so.
Okay, I don't have no questions unless anybody else has.
What happened to the parking lot? Did it just disappear?
Actually, he sold himself. Because time I got home, no, I don't know that for sure, but time I got home, I was approached, the lady approached me, said that the dog is gone. The complaining person said, there's no more noise and the cage is gone. So I don't know what, the lady sold it off, gave it away, or.
Well, here's
So, one for all the men.
Call Wayne.
Yeah, who we in there?
I don't know what the work can be done.
Okay, so this is for our call.
Oh, great. That's
Now, with, our Council of Public Reform Association, this is from Ingrid. And it falls within the water rights act license if our wishes to undertake this works. It's, I by the conditions following that, so do we want to do any work there?
Well, actually, we need to do some work there, somebody does, but Cam from Watershed right now is working with Dora and Kara, I think, about the funding they have for doing some of this work. Not EMO money, just that's
Yes,
different funds. And so Cam, I actually got a text yesterday because he hasn't got to talk to Dora yet about her applying for part of the funding. And then if we can apply for
Cost share.
funding, cost share kind of thing.
Okay,
So Cam is working on that right
okay,
kind of now, I hope. And he's gonna speak to Dora so she understands that we are working forward, and someday I will speak to Dora also, because we didn't know that was ours until Kara found the old thing, and we met with Ingrid that day, she
Right.
said we could use our old license as long as we follow the old levels.
okay.
And she agreed it's a mess, it's full,
Wouldn't be bad if the cost share went through.
yeah, something like that.
So we'll just wait and.
I think yeah, we gotta keep discussing it, but it should be, it will be, when are we gonna get a hold, that's it, you know what I mean, so, but it'll take time, all that probably.
Yeah, too late now.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to work in the wet, there's no choice, because it's wrecking farmland there too now. Not just her farmland, the neighbor's farmland.
Invitation here we have for invitation advisory council public meeting block on July 11th. on behalf of John Marines, Minister of Advanced Education Skills and Innovation and co-chair of the Innovation Advisory Council, we invite this special meeting held in July 11th from 4 to 5:30 in the public library. So if anybody's interested, I can see this. That's the community of review overview of the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, as well as a stakeholder presentation and questions. Everybody mark that down if you want to attend. Yes, we can attend July 11th. July 11th, yeah, from 4 to 5:30 at the library. Library.
That's just not for it.
4 to 5.
Greetings, I guess this is from Bailey Jolowinski Armstrong, Administrative Assistant of Operating Engineer. Training Institute. Have you ever wondered what's the difference between a front loader and an excavator? Or behind a drive seat truck? I guess it's an invite to an open house Tuesday, July 26th. Yeah, I believe this has to do with heavy equipment, how to test your skills and
Want to go on?
yeah, that's our training. We had this before, training sessions. Does anybody feel that we need to go, or the operators has to go? Doesn't mention no grader, just says actual sitting seat of a heavy equipment. That'd be fun.
Is it air conditioned?
Opportunity to test your skills in the seat of an actual heavy piece.
Where is that?
It's the Winnipeg.
Is that Brad Proctor doing that?
No, it's a totally operating engineer training institute at Manitoba. So I guess if you maybe got some say lawnmower operators don't want advanced to maybe send them out, yes. For not only for experience, only for barbecue or prizes.
Can I go?
And that's what they did some training for them.
See, I couldn't necessarily see my computer or something.
Which year would it
Test drive the machines.
That's all guys.
Yeah, classrooms and a simulator lab and heavy equipment, so it's your,
I think we send Ronnie to the cat course.
It'd be fun to go mess with the instructor. You ever see what these people are? Look at the training, that's for me.
Start out in the morning a little rough, and by the end of the day, you're good on. Well, you gotta dance quick.
we'll move to, Ron, did you have something? Or Earl, what do we have, something to,
I think we've done. Oh, I guess the hydrant repair update.
right?
That was one that we haven't talked about yet. That's, I just wondered where it's at, because I know they came to town one day and, the shut off that Ron had mentioned about the repair done. Rob Smith came to town to do our rain hookup, right?
Yeah.
And the shut off wouldn't stop the water for them, so they come back the next day to repair that shut off. And then the hydrant guy come on Monday waiting for Pat Baker to come and do some digging, because one of them needs to be repaired. And my question is, why didn't, we gotta learn to do multiple repairs at the same time, because there's 5 to do yet, not 1. And it's so, but the hydrant guy did come. And I don't know what he's done, and neither does Cheyenne. Because she only works, she does her tests whatever David checks. And I asked her today what happened to the hydrant, she said, I don't know. So I guess we need an update from the office.
Okay.
What they did do was, and then Rob Smith did fix that, and did a good job of it. So I mean, there's no sense trying to do one shot off. There's a hole in the truck comes in.
Everything was there.
If everything was already there, so we should be doing multiples, and we got three more small hookups, 3 more small shut off repairs to do and one more hydrant shut off to repair, so there's no sense sending it back over one. That was a mistake.
More in there from.
That's the guy that's doing the hydrants, but there's nothing to become of that.
Okay.
So, I mean, that I know of, I mean, he come and look, and that's it.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of stuff in the water plant, but Cheyenne doesn't know what it's for, because she's not a hydrant repair person. So there should be an update from the office here, what's going on there, I guess.
Did everybody have a chance to read the Manitoba Wildlife Federation, the Wildlife Act upkeep updates? Did you read that as part of it? Nobody's trying to deal with the changes there, right? It's law enforcement.
Well, I guess I have a question, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I have a guy that will remove the trees from the edge of the road, edge of the street, sorry, in Riding Mountain. All of them. Like, just the ones that are causing problems, but I need to know how wide is the street in Riding Mountain? And we'll road on it's 99 feet
66, I think,
okay, because our guys, ground guys, lots of times will cut trees down after they fall, clean them up. This guy will take the tree away. They cut it right down and all the way for the lumber, but he doesn't want any money, just wants the tree.
That's a good deal.
Yes.
So, but I need to know measurement, so if it's 66 feet, I'll tell him it's 66, and he'll take every tree within the 66 feet off of our, so the graders can go as they please, as they need to, for some of all kinds of stuff. But that's,
Yeah, cause I don't wanna go on property, right?
no, that's why I wanna make sure, because this guy is, he's whatever, but he doesn't wanna be in trouble.
So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
66.
yeah.
You wanna make sure, I mean, are we all confident 66 feet? That's not.
Or you should be able to get that on
Downstairs.
Yeah,
a map for down the Reading Mountain.
Earl,
You should be able to find that, I think.
she's got a map downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay,
Look at that.
okay, good, perfect, that'd be perfect, because that'll help with the snow removal and the other stuff, perfect.
And Ronnie Blythe, you belong to the biosphere, right? The Mountain Biosphere Reserve Climate Change Canada funding. I really love that as well. Did you read in there? It was on our package there too, right? Yeah. It's funding changing. Is there anything else? We'll come back, we're looking to come back for 1 o'clock and 1:30 is municipality wants 8% for just 3 of them coming, I guess, 3 or 4.
Got that, put that boundary.
Yeah, correction,
Which
we'll
one?
discuss that. RCMP at 1 o'clock.
And that's her.
That is it, yeah?
Paul, I have a question.
Okay.
Go for every dump. Not too happy, but he said every time I go to the dump, he said, go back home. He
Why?
says, well, because they won't take nothing, they keep telling it's commercial. You're on the phone, it's commercial, it's commercial. Everything they bring is commercial. And he says, why am I paying for a dump that I can't use? And he said he had some plastic things with a little bit of insulation on them,
So that's eating up.
and take it back home, he said. He said, we gotta haul everything to Brandon, he said. Because
As long as
these
it's
guys are here.
separated, like if it's metal or shingles or whatever, as long as it's separated, liability, they pay taxes to us.
They did show up one time.
Well, that was with those pig breeds, remember those breeds? I showed up those. But, okay, we dealt with that when he took it to Brandon and all that stuff, we got that dealt
They
with.
never get turned down, they come with loads of ash, and that's a long ways from being very clean.
Well, they just went with a load of those, some of those, like a vent on the pig barn.
So what would you classify that as?
Well, that's what he's wondering,
It's
if,
not
is this called
recyclable.
farm or is this called commercial? Like he says, I live on a farm, he says.
Maybe we should talk to Tracy about it, 'cause I know I had another situation. The Eden Mennonite group, they cleaned the ditches and she wouldn't take the garbage.
Yeah, see, and Colin's just really getting fed up with that, he says, well, if I gotta haul everything to Brandon, he says, why am I paying for a dump over here? He says, I pay a lot of money on my taxes for that dump. He says, I can't use it.
Well, they get to use it, lots, they bring all that stuff they burn.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, this is what he's telling me, I'm just, I had a meeting with him,
I
that's all.
think we treat Spring Hill Colony pretty damn good here.
So they do take stuff, like,
Yeah, oh, yeah, lots of times, but I know they showed up with a whole load of flooring from
from before,
around the crates, you
Yeah.
know?
well, that was that plastic, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's the one that they,
this
They-
must be simpler,
no,
sort of
it's
plastic,
just,
so,
no, it's just, it's plastic, but it's what it is, like a ductwork,
yeah.
it's those vents or whatever they call.
There's no place they can recycle them?
No, there's, so he has to haul it all around. You throw it in the truck,
So why
haul it
doesn't,
around.
say
They won't take it over here,
Well, why won't they take it here?
because we're in Rosedale, they won't take anything from Rosedale.
Yeah, you can take stuff there.
Over here, this green, whatever, the other dumpster, they won't touch it. They look at them, you're from Rosedale,
Don't we pay a tipping fee?
No,
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 not
they
there.
don't belong to them.
so he has to haul it to Brandon and take it to Brandon.
Because I know sometimes at home, in our landfill, the tenant gets in trouble there because they make them sort, if it's not this or that, I mean, you
Yeah.
can't just dump a load like years ago, you back in, dump
Yeah.
where you want, now you have to sort it.
Essentially,
So they don't like hearing that either, whoever they are.
Well, Colin says he keeps everything pretty well sorted, like when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, the problem with our lead landfill too is it's, if we put stuff there, we can't dispose of in one way or another, it's gonna fill up faster, so. So, household garbage is household garbage, right?
we have to figure out another way, whether to tell him, ask him if he can haul it to Kelwood. No, like, instead of having to run all the way to Brandon, but then pay to dump it in Brandon.
Like how often did this happen to once here?
Yeah, once or twice, maybe. But it's one of those things, can we take it over to Kelwood? At least we can give him a better option to just run to Kelwood with it.
Yeah, it depends, again, it depends what it is, 'cause if they won't, if the tenant won't take it here, they have the same training as the one that killed, they won't take it there, but I mean, you need to know what it is, and what it's made up of, right? But, I don't know, I'm not a landfill.
I don't know, he called me up and asked me to come over, and he talked to me about it, and I said, well, I'll bring it to council, I said, talk to the guys at council, I said, we see what we can sort out, get something figured out.
So the only reason given to Colin was the fact that it's commercial?
He said it's commercial, they said it's commercial, can't take that commercial stuff, we're not allowed here.
Yeah, I mean, just wonder what that means, I don't
Like, if you
understand.
call me, what do you call not commercial?
Yeah.
Because if
Maybe
everybody
if
runs
the
up
last
there,
log barn fans, that would be, could be commercial, I guess.
yeah,
Commercial building.
that's like anybody that has a hog barn, if they tear something out of it, they call it commercial now.
And I guess the problem is there's most of, small hog barn that had one, they all had multiples, I guess, but I don't know.
that's our plan, they wrecked. It's harder, they,
Well, yeah, they turned it into a shop, it's a shop.
Yeah.
They've made it for compartments, and actually part of it is, for doing pallets.
Yeah.
Parts for storage, parts for apartments and
Yeah.
stuff in there, then the other ones are, they're, carpentry.
how many loads are there, it's just one over
It sounded like just one road.
Okay, well, it's,
I said, all I'll do is I'll bring it up to the guys at council, I said, we'll talk about it, I said, I'll get back to you, let you know. It's just, he was, I know he was excited that day, so I don't know, maybe there was something else that made him a little excited too, so.
well, it's tough, those things are tough, with our landfill, the rules are getting, yeah, you used to take concrete, but then fill it, and now we can't do that either.
No, I just
Yeah.
trying to find another option.
If it has paint, yeah,
Yeah,
if it doesn't have paint, okay.
yeah, well, it's, the rules are the rules, I guess, so we just live with them.
Cause you know, it's a few more miles to Kelwood, but at least it's only a few more miles to
Yeah.
Kelwood to dump it there. And bury it or whatever, get it gone, when we're done. Just this way it gives them another option,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, sure.
instead of having to go all the way to Brandon and pay to dump it in Brandon. I'd rather give them an option in our end than.
You said for green one day? Really?
No, I
Shut
don't
them
think, because we don't long range.
Yeah, I thought maybe we could come out
Yeah.
here.
No.
Typically,
I think they changed that.
They changed it? Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you see it from the road, it seems like we just didn't go.
Really?
Oh, we don't belong, right,
Yeah,
so
lots of things don't
that's just
belong.
like,
Yeah.
that's just like we would take stuff from
outside.
town people.
I agree, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything's bad about it, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just when there starts to get full and we're dumping over there, well,
yeah.
could save them a lot of.
Well, their cells will be the same cost to build as our cells when the tank comes right for them, so if we cut them off, it's gonna be another cost, it's under tax dollars.
I don't know if that helps you tolerate it, it just depends what it is, but
Yeah.
we don't reject it, because you seem that they haul other stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've seen there lots of times with ash from their burners.
Okay,
So you take that, I guess that's a service.
Household, any household garbage you take with a ring, yeah.
Then we also
why don't they take the garbage anyways?
I don't know, it was just, there's stuff that the highway ditches they clean. You get a whole truckload of
That's
it,
just household garbage.
she wouldn't
they
take.
wouldn't take.
See, Rick was different. Rick would sort all that stuff.
Oh, it's just household.
That was the hang up there.
I got it in. Not the other way around. Around this transfer station. Got it next. Cause I did a good deed, I wasn't.
No, it's just,
It just takes a little more effort.
At least I like that deed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like,
If he doesn't mind, let me know what it is.
yeah,
Send me a picture, send it to me.
Yeah.
Whatever I need.
try to
You know,
accommodate.
we'll try to accommodate the best we can.
Yeah,
I know Eaton's getting heavy and full already.
Yeah.
We don't wanna,
well, they change those rules on those girls every day almost, that they.
well, that's the thing, you know, well, they're trying to shut us all down, they're trying to get us all shut down.
Then you'll haul everything around.
Then everything's either gonna have to
okay,
go,
so we'll break and we will return at 5 to 1.
maybe we should make our own.
Robert's got.
Robertson Eaton District.
Earl Burton from Cal area.
Ron concentrate Bunker area, up in the hill.
Are you sure, just outside of town here, road one?
And Andrew Summers from Burning area.
My name's Colby Hardy. I'm the area commander here for Spruce Plains, staff sergeant. And this is Steve Sumner. I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Staff Sergeant, I'm what we call the District Advisory NCO. And I represent the district of basically southwestern Manitoba. And I'm just here to kind of find out what's going on.
That'd be perfect, yeah. Yeah, we have good relations with, Mark House, he's come with us maybe once a year just to sit down and chat, and it's always good relations.
Yeah, so everyone knows Mark obviously, but I've been here for the last probably year and a half or so. And Mark and I have been stopping by and dropping off the stats every month with Kara and that, so. But yeah, I worked with him for the last little bit and he's just finishing up. He's last couple months basically on leave and then he's retiring in August. So he's all done and we have a new sergeant coming in, Dave Taggart out of Pockettawagan. He lives here actually in town. He's been flying up and working out of the Pockettawagan detachment for I think the last 3 or 4 years and he's absolutely itching.
3 years.
Yeah, he was here before and he's itching to get back. I believe he was a corporal here.
Yeah, he's a corporal in April. He's promoted to Puck and now he's coming back, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's pretty pumped to get back here. Kept his house, so wanted to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just wanna start off now, the floor is yours and.
Okay, I'm not sure if you have any specific questions, but I'll just go through the stats a little bit to start off with. And then if there's any questions, by all means. So, like I said, every month, hopefully you guys do see these. But basically, every month we drop off the stats. Our Rosedale is actually probably one of our quieter areas, which is a good thing for us.
Good thing for them.
Yeah, good thing for
That's right.
if we're not busy, then we're the one business, so to speak. That's a good thing. So I had a look, and this month we only had 12 reported incidents. I went back to have a look all the way back to April 1st up until today. There's only been 42 various incidents, and of those, 22 of them were traffic. So like tickets on the highways, things like that. There was actually 0 reported thefts. We only had 1 reported break and enter in the whole RM. So it is kind of bucking the trend a little bit. Like things have been picking up around our area. But Rosedale so far has been good. We've been seeing lots of like stolen vehicles, things like that. A lot of stuff with farmers leaving trucks in the field, keys in it, and they're gone. So we've had fuel thefts, like locally here in Equal, like no pay for gas, things like that. So we're seeing a little bit of a spike in those kind of calls. So far in the RM here, not so much, but we are trying to get the message out, basically just like proactively, like get folks to, lock up the stuff, lock up valuables. I know like when you're in the field, sometimes it's easy to leave the keys because someone can come along and grab a truck if they need it, but maybe coordinate where the key's being hidden, so it's not just left in the ignition. because otherwise you run into the issue of it disappearing and, do it on that roll, so. Yeah, other than that, like not a lot of calls. Like I said, 0 reported thefts. We had 1 reported fraud, but it was just a case where a citizen answered the phone. It was like a telemarketing scam, which I'm sure probably all of you have seen. We even get them at the office where they're sending out someone from Canada Revenue Agency to arrest us and whatever else and stuff. So fortunately, this caller was savvy enough that he recognized like this looks like a scam. Didn't give him anything and reported it to us. So one of the things we always say is we like to have people report all these crimes, even if sometimes it seems petty. Maybe something went missing off your farm or whatever else, and it's not that serious. Still report stuff because it is nice to know where stuff's happening and we can use that to develop crime trends. We also have access out of Brandon. We have a crime reduction team, and we can use them and the crime analysts to kind of figure out where our hotspots, where some stuff occurring. And also if we're aware of like certain items that are going missing, because we've had cases where we catch these individuals that are involved in crime and we have a whole bunch of property that we believe to be stolen, but we have no way to reference back to like where was this stolen. And so things like paint cans or tools or things like that, like there's no serial numbers. Sometimes it's hard to trace back, but maybe someone has a certain identifying mark on it or something like that, we can trace it back and we can lay charges. We only had 1 break and enter out of actually like right since April till now. I think it was at the church or something like that, church area, the Mountain Road, yeah. And so that one there in particular, they did lift some prints, and that's currently sitting with our forensics team there in Dauphin. So there was some prints lifted at the scene, and it's just a matter of that they basically send that off, and it runs through the system to try to identify to see if it matches up. So in the event that it doesn't match up right away, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes down the road, when we charge somebody, they get fingerprinted after they're arrested. Those get sent off, added into the database, and then sometimes there's a hit later on. So that kind of gives us that avenue to be able to follow back up. So with respect to, like, I saw just on the kind of the email invite you were talking about, just looking at like just general kind of crime trends. So that's specifically like for the RM, but just kind of in the larger area for Spruce Plains. We had 3 this quarter, so that's April 1st to basically the end of June. We had 306 calls for the urban area, so Iqaluit, Minnedosa, and we had 454 calls for our rural area. And Spruce Plains is a large area. We cover all the way from Rapid City basically to a little bit east of Gladstone, south down to like basically just north of Brookdale, and then north up to like Riding Mountain. Basically that somewhat of a square. So fairly large area, but in total we had 760 total calls, which is kind of on par with this time last year. We were at 801 calls for that same time period. So when I say calls too, a lot of those like traffic tickets are included in that. So that's one incident there. As far as the resources, we're sitting fairly good, especially in comparison to a lot of detachments around the division. We have our full complement, so Iqaluit has 4 municipal members, and we're fully staffed with that. Minnedosa has 3 municipal members, which we're fully staffed at. And we have 8 members that are assigned to like the provincial side, so that's like for the rest of the rural area. We're currently sitting at 6. One of them just resigned here. We had a member resign a few weeks back. In the end, we decided that policing wasn't for him and had another job, so ended up moving back home to Ontario. And then we had one of our corporals transfer out. So at this point, we don't have any named replacements. And that's one of the things with the RCMP you see a lot is, sometimes you win out on the members selling a house and it takes a little longer to get out. And other times, maybe they leave before the replacement's back in. So there's always that kind of constant state. But I will say that this summer here, we're certainly sitting better with resources than what we were even this time last year. Just going back to some of the theft stuff there. So we're always trying to work on projects to try to head off. So like it's a lot easier to stop the issues prior to trying to go back and investigate and charge these folks. So one of our constables, he's starting up this thing called the 9 p.m. routine. It's probably going to apply more to like the town of Iqaluit or the town of Minnedosa, but it'll certainly apply to even farmyards And this 9 PM routine, he's gonna put something out on social media. It's gonna be a daily thing where they're putting out saying, just as I'm calling it a 9 PM routine, and getting folks into the habit of making sure things are locked up. Houses are locked, vehicles are locked, valuables are kept out of sight. And hopefully get people in that habit of doing that every day. So, 9 o'clock rolls around, guys will come out, maybe just double check the door handles in their car to make sure that they're locked so that, the coffee change in the cup holders, not gonna get cleared out overnight and little things like that. Because we're really not seeing a lot of like people breaking into vehicles and stuff. It's usually just prying door handles and then taking loose stuff, sunglasses, whatever else. So trying to get some messaging out there just to get people more in a mindset of trying to deter. And so one other thing I guess as part of our priorities is just that overall reduce and prevent crime. And so one of the things that we're doing is this offender management program. And basically throughout our whole area, we've identified that there's a pretty small group of people that are responsible for like, the vast majority of crime in our area, and in fact all areas. But so we kind of have those problem few people that are responsible for the vast majority, whether it be the drug stuff or thefts, breaking and enters, things like that. And so we're focusing on getting those folks on conditions like curfews, things like that through the courts. Charge them with an offense, maybe they're caught in a stolen vehicle or whatever else. Lay charges, get them on conditions like a curfew. And then we have our members conducting constant checks on them. So basically making sure that they're following these conditions. We let them know that they're going to be monitored, knock on the door all the time, making sure they're there. And if they're not there, then they're going to face consequences, getting breached, getting moved back to jail, remanded. So during this past quarter for our area, we identified 8 offender management subjects that we put on these conditions. We did 14 curfew checks, and 2 of the subjects moved away from our area right away. So maybe they were getting enough attention that they decided that they would just move away. One subject was found not to be complying right away. We issued a warrant for their arrest. One subject was found to be breaching conditions after only 2 checks. So they got put on conditions, we identified them. We did 2 curfew checks and found them breaching, so we got a warrant for them. And then one other subject was arrested based on our curfew checks. The subject wasn't complying, we arrested them, and they're still in custody now. So we've seen pretty good results with this, where they kind of make it clear that they're not welcome in our area, if people are causing lots of grief. And it kind of goes hand in hand, like the drug activity, people get indebted or addicted to drugs, and then they start to steal. So we want to make sure that it's on the offender management side of things that we're holding these folks accountable and either getting their life sorted out or they go back to jail or they move away from the area. But in any event, they're not continuing to cause crime in our area. And then finally, the traffic side of things I already mentioned a little bit. That was one of the priorities. So we are trying to keep up with doing very visible check stops. So some of you may have seen this. We've been trying to do gravel road patrols. Some days they're more like a single vehicle patrolling around in various areas, conducting stops, putting people on roadside screening devices to see if they've been drinking. Sometimes we'll have more visible, like actual physical check stops set up, so multiple vehicles, lights on. And that's to just show a little bit more about police presence, and also to maybe encounter some of these folks that aren't registering vehicles or having driver's license and things like that. So that kind of falls into some of our priorities. And then communication, which is kind of what we're doing here, just making sure that we're keeping you folks up to date with the monthly stats, answering questions at anything that comes up, and then attending council meetings, as you request. So right now, as we're going through this, I try to do biannual reports, so like a little bit more in depth, twice a year, where there'll be some of the explanation of some of the stuff we're working on. And that talks a little like the resources, like where we're sitting right at that point, as far as like members transferring in or leaving, things like that. Is there any questions or anything that's?
Not really, probably a couple of maybe on your garbage stuff, the problems always are eating landfill.
The patroller.
Eating landfill?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, it's not big stuff, like there's so safety cat out of you can't leave anything. And this, it seems most weekends this happens. So it's open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And this is when this takes place.
First aid kits, just,
Yeah.
and it's not
So the
recyclable,
fire
it is money that
extinguishers.
they're taking. And it's locked, the fence is locked. We talked about maybe putting up, there's no hydro there, buying maybe some game cameras and hide it. You know, we don't know what else to do, but it's getting worse almost seems.
Lately, that's like, we used to have awful trouble with them stealing aluminum cans.
Okay.
I figured they must be going maybe to Alberta or something. They would come and take like thousands at a time out of them.
Of cans,
Yeah.
and then just for the recycling money then, is that kind of
That's what I'm
those?
thinking, yeah.
Okay.
Bringing it.
So now they're taking like game or fire extinguishers,
Yeah,
first aid kits,
bigger-
things like that.
bigger things. And you can't lock in, well, we can lock it, the gate's locked. But if you put a lock on the building or something, they just trash everything.
Great,
So you leave it locked because they're gonna get into it anyway.
yeah, smash it in.
They do
Well,
worse
that's the
damage.
trouble.
Yeah, we've had pretty good success with the trail cameras and that, like, they're relatively inexpensive to buy, you can set them up wherever, and as long as people, they're in a spot where they don't get seen and then, you know, we wanna get the ones that don't have the flash, because it happen at night, sometimes there's the no glow ones. So that's important, because if you see that flash or a bit of a red glow, then and it's at night, you're probably gonna end up with a stolen trail cam. Yeah, and I do know, exactly remember where in our area, but somewhere they had one trail cam that was actually sending photos through cell coverage. So we actually had the trail camera stolen, but they were able to get the footage off the camera of the person stealing it. So they actually, the person has the camera, but they were able to retrieve the video off it. So that's another option. I'm sure they're more expensive, but something to consider.
I think otherwise we're pretty decent for everything. For
You know,
theft.
did anyone ever report that to
We
police?
used to, but we kind of quit because it seems very, yes,
Yeah,
so often it happens, it's just a pain for you guys.
and you know what, it's honestly, it's not a pain, that's our job, and I know like, it does seem sometimes like it's petty and stuff, but it just kind of going back to that, like, you know, if we get a heads up when we're out patrolling around, if we have the free time, we know a certain area that's maybe getting hit a bit more, we can take a swing through there or you know, sometimes the,
Guys will make a vehicle stop and see that types
Yeah.
of item, you know, someone's driving around in the middle of the night with a fire extinguisher in the backseat.
First aid kit, right?
and first aid kits.
1,000 movie cans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
Batteries.
much it took a minute.
You know, and if there's ways to, I don't know if there's serial numbers on fire extinguishers, but things like that, if you could record that ahead of time.
Must be a number on there.
Or if not, you can just an engraver where you can put in something, like put in the RM, engrave it on there. You know, RM1 or whatever it is, and you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, but at least that way if we recover it, we stop a vehicle in the middle of the night and we have someone who has this stuff in their vehicle. It is nice to be able to say, okay, well, why do you have this? And it belongs to the RM, and maybe we can make a call, you know, stop in and say, hey, we recovered this, and is there any reason this person should have this or whatever? And so there's those kind of avenues there too.
Keep your eyes open for a stove, because they stole it.
So,
Stove under there. And isn't it RM of R or RM of Rosedale and with weld on it, so somebody's got it.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah.
someone's got a cabin out there with a stove.
That's determination.
That is a,
Yeah.
little lazy criminal there.
So they did that twice with the snowmobile, but. Yeah, took the stove right out, it was actually bolted right through the floor.
Wow.
Took it and did all the bolts, and somebody slid underneath it.
Well, you know, you can do a lot of preventative measures, but sometimes it's just, yeah, we had a light bar stolen off one of our police cars, so it goes to show you that how
Yeah.
crazy some of these folks are, that,
The idea is to make it more trouble than it's worth for someone to steal, right?
Yeah.
And,
I think the same thing happened with the solar system on the new cabin they put up a solar system and way up there. It was 2 weeks it was on there, it was up.
Crazy things what they're taking too.
Well, what we actually are finding, like in around the area, is that, like going back to that, just a few people responsible for a large majority of it, but like we're having stolen vehicles and things like that, we're catching, you know, that one individual and getting them on conditions, but, you know, we catch them again and it's that same individual. And at the end of the day, like we bring this all to the court, we don't have control on that side of things, but at the end of the day, the courts are the ones that make the determination. But certain level of frustration on our end of, you know, we catch this guy, you know, sometimes we release, but most times we go to the Crown to get approval for whether they're gonna be held in custody or release, and they're the ones that tell us we have to, or the courts will release in some cases. So yeah, it's again just focusing that attention on those few individuals. You know, and then there's the one-offs, maybe some kids or whatever that are forcing around with fire extinguishers or something like that. But you know, potential, right?
The whole offender management, like it just makes sense. We're targeting the people that we know are committing crimes, and it's probably one of the most effective tools that we do. Because you can't, you know, like you talk about the landfill, we can't be everywhere at all times.
Yeah.
And you know, when we're able to target people that are committing, they basically have two choices. They can either behave, in which case, hey, everyone welcomes that, right? We're a forgiving society. Or if they're not, then by all means, you're gonna eventually go back to jail, which is either way, society wins. So it's effective, like Colby says, and yeah, it works.
Yeah, we've seen pretty good success with it, like in multiple areas too. So, and then we do have those pretty frank conversations with these folks that say like, you made the list and you're gonna be seeing us. In some cases, some of these people live with their parents or live with somebody else that they're not really a fan of us knocking on the door, sometimes 2 or 3 times a night. But that's the reality of it. And we, you know, knock on the door at 10 o'clock at night and they're home, and then we come back again at 2 in the morning and check to make sure they're still home, because we're often finding that they're going out in the early morning hours. And so it's that accountability there, and that's usually enough incentive to kind of, okay, maybe rethink, or maybe they have a little bit of external pressure if it's a parent saying like, you better be staying at home and listening kind of thing, right, to get them back on the straight and narrow.
I think we're pretty lucky over my area, in the Spring Hill's on duty every night. They got a guy out from 2 till 5:30 or 6 in the morning. Watching there, and he likes, on patrol.
Well, then they'll call them anyway, now they have they're on patrol, they kind of help out.
Well, it's like Steve mentioned there with the, like, you have more resources, but honestly, you could have a police officer in every corner, and then as soon as we turn the corner, you know, it happens right behind. But we don't know the rural folks, like, it's impossible for all of us to know, like, this truck belongs to this farm site or whatever, but you as the neighbors, you know, and you see a suspicious vehicle, and you say, hey, this doesn't belong in this area. A good example that we had earlier in the spring, we had a farmer reported up by kind of the Plumas Gladstone area, or the Glenella area, that vehicle that didn't belong there. He managed to snag a license plate number, we ran it. It was a stolen vehicle out of Winnipeg. And we went and ended up tracking the guy down. He tried to flee on us. We were able to use a spike belt and stop him. And he was wanted for multiple counts of armed robbery and lots of firearms offenses, high on meth, lots of so impaired driving, stolen vehicle, lots of stolen stuff. So like, and that was just a matter of someone who took the time to call in and jot down a license plate and say, hey, this guy does not belong in this area. I've never seen him before. He's acting strange. But you know, we could have drove by that guy, like out on patrol, and drove right by him and say, oh, maybe that's so-and-so's nephew. Like, who knows, right? And we don't know that the vehicle doesn't belong there. So if you're able to, you know, get the neighborhood chats going, you know, there's different apps and stuff for people with phones that, or even just kind of knowing your neighbors and say, hey, like, you're gonna be away for a week, like let them know there shouldn't be any vehicles around. And that's what helps stop these thefts of gas and things. Like, people have tanks set up in their yard, and they see some lights going in there and they don't know what's supposed to be there, and they give us a quick call. It's an easy way for us to tailor our patrols and go deal with that right there. So if you do have people, you know, calling in or they're complaining about rural crime and that, like, obviously encourage them to call us, and because I think sometimes people think that we get this reported, or maybe someone else has reported it, and make sure that you're telling us, like, let us know, because we have our stats, and I know sometimes they don't match up with what's going on Facebook and or other social media. Like, you'll make it sound like as if there's this rampant crime in an area, and then we run the stats and we basically don't have anything to reflect that. So maybe there is more going on, but we want to know about it. So
Our stats generally don't match up to the coffee shop stats.
Ours either.
Yeah.
yeah. So again, I think it's that a few complainers complain for the most of us kind of thing. So, but.
Any other questions from anybody? Yeah, we're pretty lucky in our area. I don't hear too much from taxpayers. Or we all, think it's been pretty good.
I guess they closed down that Citizens on Patrol down there.
Oh,
That's what, what's his name was telling me up there. Can't remember, he was running it. He took over, and I guess they shut it down, so I don't know if it's, what happened then?
Citizens on Patrol, is that still?
Well, we're still doing that here locally. Like we have assigned another member. Like Mark Morehouse was sitting on kind of the meetings, liaison, and that. And we also had Craig Ruel who's doing that. But we have assigned another member to meet up on that. So as far as I know, they're still on the go here in town anyway. I mean, that's great, right? Like it's a good resource. And
It's community driven, though, like it's not administered by us, and often that it's because people sometimes will lose interest or not. Want to be part of it, but it takes some hours too, and lots of time, so that tends to be some of the issues with it.
yeah, our involvement with that, with the liaison is often just, we can see kind of what's getting reported, and we know we get here about the Eden landfill, things like that. And so that when people are going out on their patrols, as liaison, we can say, maybe these are some things to watch for. And there's also that comfort level of like, okay, the people on the COPP know this is who I'm gonna contact, they know some names, things like that. And we wanna be approachable and just, they know who to call. And then, they'll give us a heads up of like their license plates or what they're driving for vehicles, so that when we get a call of some vehicle in a random area, we can say, oh, we know that's the COPP out patrolling or whatever. Because we've had that before where people are shining a flashlight and we end up getting a call saying, who's this shining the flashlight? And we run the plate number and say, oh no, that's our COPP that are out patrolling right now. But yeah, it's community driven, and then it's just us to kind of meet up with that group once in a while to give them the information.
Because Mark used to come off the Eden.
Yeah.
At the Eden Hall there,
Okay.
the meeting.
Yeah.
Calling you to come there, and a whole bunch of guys from Mountain Road area and that, they don't be there.
Well, one thing I can say is whenever there's gonna, like, if you're getting meetings or whatever they're set up, then just give us a bit of a heads up. And we'll do what we can to get someone to make sure that we have someone assigned to that to go out and help out. And obviously, you see the resource issue in that, our calls take priority if we have to go, but we definitely want to attend those as much as we can, and it just helps us, right? And it's a good way to work together. So
Business cards?
yeah, I got some here too. Yeah.
Perfect.
And I just, I didn't really introduce myself, I guess, to start, but I mentioned I was a staff sergeant here in the area. I got here in September of 2020, and that's where I was working with Mark. And it was a little bit of a tough time to start because it was right when COVID was hitting, and so everything was kind of shut down. But I had 19 years in the RCMP. Prior to this, the last 11 years, I was up north in Thompson and the Paw. And I've also been posted in Burton, a couple of locations. So that's actually where I came from the last year and a half. Prior to that, I was in Burton, Georgia Westlands area.
He still doesn't know where he's going.
I still gotta report to this guy here, so. Yeah, and then we work pretty closely with the district, so when we're in part of West District, and as part of West District, there's the management team there with the 3 staff sergeants and an inspector and superintendent, so that's kind of who I report to. And Staff Sergeant Sumner here is out of Brandon, but he comes out to, I guess, look after the area and as a representative for the district.
It's his area, but I kind of oversee several of the areas, so if there's any issues or any, that he has to help out, try and draw, sometimes if we have people drawing resources from other areas, or if there's any trends that he's talked about, we can list or anything. But here's some of my cards, and just introduce myself too, I guess.
Appreciate you guys coming out.
There's some business cards there, and, yeah, I've been around for 29 years, most of it in Manitoba, but I've also been out in Saskatchewan and BC for some of that. I was instructing, I was doing some major crime. Been around a long time, getting closer to retirement. So, yeah, that's about it. Like I say, with Colby said, I represent the district, so I try and come with Colby to these meetings. We're gonna try and do it at least once a year where we come in, from a district level, or at least we'll come and talk to you guys and make sure everyone's happy with your services. And I've got no reason whatsoever to think you wouldn't be. Like these guys you got a pretty strong crew here for RCMP, and as far as the community things like Mark is, everyone knows Morehouse. I always call him Mayor Morehouse. He knows everyone, so no, things are good in this area. Even from RCMP standpoint, resourcing, it's been a constant issue with us, manpower, and for here, it's pretty good. Not perfect, no, but comparatively, we're having these issues all over the country. People just don't want to be cops anymore, and it's getting tough to get people. So it's, our members are feeling the crunch. They're working lots and maybe not getting as much time off as they need to. So we're sure we're trying to come up with solutions, but to be honest, it's pretty tough, and neither of us have any solutions. It's going to be a while. Like, we're getting creative, and it's funny, like these guys, the commanders, each of the detachments, and we're helping each other out. If you have guys working in one area, like going to work in other areas on overtime. But you can only expect so much overtime here, guys. So it gets difficult, and then, we're trying to come up with creative ways to be more. It's like anyone, right? Like if you're running a business or a farm, you're trying to be creative and try and get the most efficiency for the resources you have, and we're doing the same thing. So we're trying to get the most out of our people, but yeah, it's getting tough. They're struggling, so good. We got some good people, some really good young people, but they get they're human. They get tired. So
Understandable.
yeah. Anyways, that's all we have, unless there's any other questions. So.
That's great, thank you.
Thanks very much for having us. Appreciate talking to you. And we'll get out of here.
Let us know if there's any other meetings there that you want us to attend, or if anything does come up, like in the meantime, even if you don't think you need to come to a full meeting, but just have concerns, like I do stop by every month and drop the report off, so even if you just have questions lined up, I can always make sure to get back to you and that too, so, or by all means, stop by the office or call. With our new building here, we're hoping to be in our new building here maybe by the end of summer here, so, or at least by the third fall, so. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and it's also gonna be a good draw to bring members. Yeah, it's needed, so.
Okay, thanks again.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you want to scoot here, do you want to scoot here, Robert?
Now you can talk about the important stuff.
What kind of delegations you have?
Well, lunch is over here.
You don't sit on my knee if that's what you're. Maybe I'll take that chair, because it'll fit in here, Colin. I know where it is, you want your chair here, is that all right?
Well, I have to bring in another chair. You grab whatever.
I don't want to do so.
So was that the plan, we're gonna stick with that from Buzz along there?
What is it on? It's the cheapest one, $150. Not around the shop today.
Oh, probably would, I bet you, yeah. Let your money bring it over.
Now we gotta check next one.
Want me to call you?
Hello?
Here.
Should be good.
Where you want us, wherever?
Anywhere, just take a seat, sure.
Well, I was gonna say the older fellas.
I'm good, they're more important than me. No, I'm not. I'm good.
How's Mr. Bob?
Good, you guys? I'm good. Wonderful day out there? No, I'm good.
You do know this is your office.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I remember that. But again, I have to appreciate that you guys are renting it from us, so sure isn't.
We've been hoping for giving a couple of months or something.
Yeah. Why? If you didn't tell us I was here.
We'll introduce ourselves, Robert Boyd,
Robert Scott.
Earl Burton.
Michael Porrick.
Ron Costello.
Very sure.
Andrew Sowers.
Ray Racing.
Trish Fraser, Stadium.
Not the guy, Public Works Foreman.
Bob Adrians.
Great. Thank you for coming. I don't know how much Kara told you. Kara's already in already.
Yeah, we kind of had a brief conversation.
Okay.
I think we're just kind of here to just discuss what's going on, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we had a lot of taxpayers call us over the past few months, and as you know, every road was terrible. But we got a lot of complaints from our correction, Pine Road. We did some work a couple of years ago, 3 years.
7.
7 or 8.
7 or 8 years.
7, 8 years ago, we pulled that long ago.
That's what happens, it goes like.
7.
Because I got in the council almost 8.
Yeah.
I just got in the council then. Yeah, 7 years ago we pulled that road.
So we're just wondering if we can come to any kind of an agreement or cost sharing or any, do you have any suggestions?
Well, there's been 2 times previous back. The first one was what, 25 years ago or so, Robert? And another 15 years ago, the proposal was to carpet it and do it properly, but it fell by the wayside both times. So, you know, nowadays, it would just be unreal to try and even think about doing now.
I think it was a money thing to start with, wasn't it?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, it was
but it was, that's, like, it has been on the table before, but now it's,
Right.
what do you do, like,
Well, it was approved because there was carpet on the side of the road.
well, yeah, well,
Smith was supposed to do it and then it was,
his
they were
quality.
taking over the
material
wrong
was-
pit.
Yeah,
This was not, that's right, that'd be other side there.
How many miles was it?
Mile, yeah.
Only a mile?
Yeah.
That bad mile, not a good mile, bad.
well, the whole, if you're gonna do part of it, is
Well, the
the
other part-
reason why you wouldn't do it right out to Jimmy Bolton's really, because in the summertime, that just turns into a bog, that whole.
Well, Beaumont's is good that way. It's pretty
It's not
solid
for
that way.
very Casper's there,
Yeah.
but east of the railway tracks, like Buzz Bradley's.
See, right from Buzz's driveway all the way up to just about Vauxhall's.
That's the
real
worst, that's the
worst.
worst, yeah.
The rest is kind of up high and just needs gravel.
Great box on
Yeah.
weight
Yeah, that's where it's bad.
is west of you.
Yeah.
So it's a mile that,
Well, there's 2 miles in there probably to do.
I would say the mile for sure, but then maybe another half for
I
luck.
think we did in stages, like, you know, just because of cost wise, you know, or whatever, just something. And I know,
Trouble is, every time you do a joint in a carpet, you got a problem. If you're gonna do 2 or 3 miles, in my mind, do it, be done with it, if you can afford it. But to do a mile this year and then go out next year, dig up everything you did at the end there and try and get that carpet, and you're always still gonna have a bad spot there, unless you overlap it 100 feet or something like that, especially with carpet and so.
who is it just 50-50 maintaining and 50-50?
well, that's a long story. That's a long
Well,
story.
that's what we're here for.
Book the afternoon,
It
right?
wasn't agreement made that users always right.
Oh, there's been the agreement was before you and I were
Yeah.
about on council.
I was
So,
gonna say, I've never found anything, like, I looked through, like, well,
Yeah.
Langford's old files, and Kara, I think, also looked
Yeah.
through stuff, and I couldn't find
it's
anything.
nothing.
I'll bet you it's
So,
50 years
It
ago or
would be a
more.
long time ago.
Anyways, we got agreements with other municipalities and it's 50-50 and, you know,
Yeah,
if it needs gravel and all that shit, and whoever's looking after it builds the other one and all
Yeah,
that
first
stuff.
come, whoever's there
Yeah.
later.
But no, I think you gotta schedule who grades it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's gonna be 2 and we're just gonna have coffee. Anyway. But like, is there some kind of a schedule for this one?
When I first started, it was, we would gravel, and then we would send a bill for half of the gravel.
Yeah.
And then when that road project fell through, or whatever, to build that stretch, that was when Leon, when we first amalgamated, from Tibbetts Corner going that way, you guys were supposed to gravel, from that way, we were supposed to gravel.
Yeah, I remember something.
And then we just graded the whole thing, and we just sent 50% of how long it took, right? A bit for it.
You sent me that on my
Yeah.
text there, and I never wrote on about that.
Yeah.
It
We
was
would
like-
never agree.
But
And I never put gravel.
if that
You
never
guys
made
did
it to you guys, that was
Yeah.
just what I was just a grader operator,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that was,
Oh, yeah,
That's cool.
but yeah, that's.
and that was a piece of paper that was handed to us at the office and put on the desk, and that's the one I found and gave you.
Yeah. And I gave that one to Kara, so she had that paper.
How long is this total mileage, Ray?
Well, if you went right from Beaumont's to number 5, what are you?
No,
Going to be Franklin
how
to,
much is the shared road? Like, we're talking the rough spot here.
Well, I guess we're all the way to Franklin, yeah?
So how many miles is that?
You would have 12 miles.
But it's not, we don't,
That's a non-maintained.
it's the first couple of miles is which they have.
How much maintained road is in there total?
So what do we do up at Franklin there? We look after Franklin too, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Correct. We do it all for that. So there's what at Franklin, a mile and a half there,
Half, yeah.
and then there's the 5 here.
Yeah, it's
All-
dead, it's
all weather
dirt,
roads.
It's dead, and then it's skips, and then it's.
So it goes
6.5
up to,
miles.
What do you call this road there, where you go across the Casper? That's, and then the rest is town, wasn't there?
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah, the first half mile is town.
Then
And then
ours,
from that, yeah. So say John Deere Road to Tanner's Road is 1, Tanner's Road to Gravel Pit Road is 2, Gravel Pit Road to Smith's Road is 3, and then it's another, it's,
3/4 of a mile.
past Jamie's is 4, so it's 4.5 of gravel,
And then a mile
and
and a
then a
half.
mile at the
On the
far end
west,
is
yeah.
gravel, and then in between there's dirt.
Then the town has the very east half mile.
Which there's never do nothing, that's right.
Yeah, supposedly they're carpeting that this year.
Are they?
Yeah, I was talking with Denise, because I was gonna put gravel on it because it was bad, and he said, don't touch it, so.
So you guys are no different than us with your gas tax money, you got 10 places for every dollar, but if this is really, really, really bad, then we just have to joint it and.
Create out of account.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like we've got
Rehabilitation.
2 or 3 years advance of stuff we're trying to clean up, but if this is really, really bad, I don't know, I don't.
Because there's also the mile of gravel over behind our shop.
I was gonna say about that one there, cause I was talking to what's her
And
name,
then
water drop there,
dirt for another,
Jen,
Over a
she
mile.
told me that her driveway is washed out, I guess.
yeah,
They've been trying to keep gravel, I was gonna catch up with you, maybe a show and let you know that
yeah,
if you're over there, that would be good.
yeah, we usually pour some in there every once in a
I guess the
while.
water rolls through there and washes that little chunk out or
Yeah.
whatever on them.
Yeah,
And this has been a different spring too.
Oh,
That's everybody's order problems we've got out there this year.
Well, I suggest you guys do it, and then Dawson will stiff you for the bill, and then.
Problem solved, problem solved, there you go. There goes that.
Are we here today to talk about, who's maintaining and graveling it, or are we here talking about trying to?
I guess 2 different things, I guess 2 different things, I guess, for the future project. Is there something that we can maybe get together, like a quote, and just see where the quote comes in? Because I know last time, we sat on council, and we were just surprised of the cost then. I know everything's rising, but we did other roads for half of the cost before, like, very cheap, or cheaper, so that's why we're,
The biggest cost is your trucking and gravel.
yes.
that's pretty close to Paris Pit, isn't it?
Well, everybody's
Well,
still
it's, we got
drive
another
15, 20
that's
miles
all.
an hour. Like Smith had the contract before, and there's a sand pit out there. He was gonna put it on until we put a stop to it, and then the project fell apart after that.
It's gotta be good gravel, good product, whatever.
It's gotta be done right.
Yeah.
The biggest part I see is that 1 mile is the bad part.
that's the worst part.
That's the worst part, like the rest part all dries up, that one part, it'll stay like that for 2 months, 3 months, just blowing out, the truck over it and just.
Doesn't matter. How we grade it, just-
to Don Harris's place.
Boxels.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys get a price on it, either totally contracted or using our own machinery? And then, to be quite honest with you, and Ray, you can correct me if I'm wrong, depending on the cost, but I think we've got for 2 years gas tax money spoken for, but I mean, if it's worse than, it's probably worse by the sounds of it than some of the stuff we're trying to fix up, but I mean, it never ends anyways. I mean, we got so many centers and stuff on our roads that we're gonna do it forever.
So if it's a special project, gas tax,
Yeah, like gas tax is set up, and I'm assuming you guys would get whatever your allotted amount each year, and then you have to specify a project number, but it has to be either new construction or rehabilitation. So you have to say rehabilitation, you can't say you're fixing, like it's gotta be.
can't use it for maintenance.
Yeah, so, and it, you have to make sure with gas tax too, and I'm sure Kara's told you this, but you can't claim any of your hours, like if the guys do the work, you can't claim that. It has to be, the way we've always done it is we get a contractor in, and it's just all done that way, so depends on what you wanna do and how much it's gonna cost, I guess, too, right? So, but we can always do, we do have to have a shared agreement, I think, in place, like a boundary, kind of, so that going forward, we don't have to worry about this kind of thing happening too, so I know we have one with Elton, and I think Norfolk. Yeah, so I've actually sent it off to Kara, she's not here, I don't know if she's back next week, I can't remember, but, yeah, so we can get, it'd be nice to have it done for future, right, so then we can get things rolling that way, but.
We, actually, I'm not trying to,
No?
you could correct me if I'm wrong here. Some of the carpeting we've done, we have used our own men, and if they
Yeah.
time allowing, we're paying them anyways and all that stuff. But, but then we can only haul for the gravel.
Right.
We get it custom hauled, we can clean the carpet, we can do all the stuff at the labor.
Yeah.
And if we have time, we're paying them anyways.
Yeah, anything that has.
No, you're right.
Let's leave it there, leave it
Graders
there.
are, why hire for the
Do you-
grader?
You've been involved in some carpet projects, eh? It's-
Yeah, like the
Well, even like the cat, we got our dozer, you guys got your dozer, you
Yeah.
know, like.
Like for.
We've pushed it on,
Carpet,
just
we
use trucks
just
to put it on. We-
graded it flat on top, put the carpet on, and then spread the gravel.
Yeah.
And some of the gravel you push onto the carpet
Yeah,
until you get a layer on it, you can drive it and
Yeah.
spread it right out of the truck.
there's risks both all ways, right? You push it on with the dozer, you spin out, you get your, you put it on with it, yeah, cause you don't wanna go too thick, cause then it doesn't pack properly. There's, you pour it on with the trucks, but then if the truck doesn't shut his gate off fast enough, then he goes away. There's always, doesn't matter what you do, there's issues, so.
So, truck being a little bit thick enough.
Yeah,
So is there any culverts in those roads too, in that road?
there would be one at,
One at the corner, is there?
yeah, kinda runs on a little bit of an angle. Other than that,
That's
You
easy.
said one?
there would be one right at Boxall's too.
Yeah,
You guys just changed that there.
we did some work on that
Oh,
one.
years ago, probably now,
Was
I
there
guess.
not one just east of the Orville Tanner's road?
Yeah,
There somewhere?
Yeah, there's
That's the
one
one.
there and the one by Boxall's and
Boxall's.
I think that's it.
I didn't think there was one in that stretch right down. Because, when you guys graded that whole, and I don't
There
remember
was,
seeing it.
there was one by Boxall's,
Yeah.
I didn't remember, but that one by Tanner's Road, there was one on a bit of an, little bit of an angle. It's right at the corner.
I was just wondering whether that would change, we
But that-
do that before.
I would just change it.
Yeah,
We're gonna put carpet down.
Change it now.
4 years later, you're digging it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just change it and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should make a lot of people happy down there.
Yeah,
There's a lot of traffic coming out of that area because they come off from that.
Yeah, like half witches
Yeah.
and Cisco's and all them guys,
Crazy
fun,
ways traffic turns out.
parents and they all come down through there.
so is that something you would look at if we were to figure it out, cost like that, 3 quotes and,
You guys get some quotes and
okay,
I think that's the way to do it, eh, Bob?
for sure, we use our own graders, we got the graders. Yeah, the big thing is just to haul it on the ground.
It's a hauling in the ground.
If you get,
Yeah.
if you get them to quote the gravel, because that we should buy because we can use, I think, you know, the man and it's up to Matt and your foreman to decide, do they have the time on the ship? That saves a lot of money right now too, because those guys are contractors are getting whatever they want right now, and that's a good thing, I guess, for them, but
But if you get the gravel, make sure you would get what we need to have,
Yeah.
not,
Quality gravel.
yeah. We had a run put on some and it's gonna be an issue down the road, but
Yeah,
that's a dead end course now, but do it the way it's supposed to be done.
and just,
I was gonna say, well, pit runs don't be difficult.
Well, if you put big rocks like this on a pit run, that doesn't work, because you're gonna punch that right through that carpet in no time.
and eventually the boy will start pushing them stones out, right? It'll start, don't put stone.
Geez,
No
when they
stone.
base it right off the wall.
We even tried 2-inch one time, but screen it down to 2-inch. And even that, your wear tracks start to wear out a little bit and it's, while you're driving, it's like winter time, right? It just starts blowing that out and why would you 1-inch and,
No, you might as well do it.
We've done it in the past, yeah. I know I was told different times. You gotta have at least an 18-inch.
Yeah,
Minimum
18
at
inch.
least.
Of
Anything
the-
under that, then you get that
yeah,
issue.
allow for 2 feet, right? And that allows your compaction for 18.
We tried a lot of, spots with shale now, and gravel over top. But shale's one of the best compactors,
Tried that on the Spring Hill Road,
Yeah,
there's one area.
other when it gets wet, it gets pretty slimy.
Yeah, but you gotta put gravel over top.
Yeah.
It's good,
Gravel over
so instead of A-base underneath shale, it's.
We tried a frost boil this year, taking it out, putting a bunch of that 2-inch just straight stone in. Put a good layer in there underneath there and you see how that works. Then just covered it back with some road gravel, right, packed it in good.
Brother-in-law was telling me there, I had one bad spot by the Spring Hill Colony, big blister. He said, take it out to the ditch, throw in that big rock, and put your carpet and then A-base over it. He said, keep draining out the side instead of,
Yeah.
and it hasn't come back, so.
Well, all that where we're working out there, where we're talking is all gravel on the
Yeah.
ground anyway, Robert. And it's always wet. It's a slough that's full of water and it's full like, it's not easy to build a road and keep it up and that stuff.
I'm surprised how, well, it stayed for those 3 years after you guys had pulled it all out.
That's about how long it takes after you cover it, 3 to
I
5
wouldn't believe
years.
that the
and then
blister
it
didn't
pulls
come
out
back for
again.
3 years. But it worked good, what it did there, but it's just not long enough.
Yeah, no, we put pit and run on the road over here and that was a mistake, cause just started getting stuff level and then you catch a stone, right, or, and then, yeah,
Bad word.
So the stone rips the carpet, now you got a hole now.
right, you're hitting with the dozer, pushing it through, tears and,
if you guys are gonna get a tender, I don't know how much gas tax, that's none of my business that you guys got. But that we can charge for, we can charge for the hauling and, the carpet. And then it doesn't hurt to ask them, okay, what's the whole job worth too?
Well, if we're gonna get them to supply gravel, can we get gravel paid for, Trish?
Yeah, if you have an invoice.
Yeah, so if we can get gravel paid for and the.
Well, it's not getting paid for, it's
Anything,
just like gas
the
tax.
way gas
Yeah,
tax
that
works
way.
is anything that you, like, as long as you have that project number tied or tagged to it, and it's, you can claim it, that's fine, but your labor, if you guys are doing the work, you have to get that like pre-approved, which I don't think is even
And a little
worth
bit of labor,
In the
big
end,
deal, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we should get a few tenders, get a tenders for a couple of contractors through the whole job, or get the tenders on the gravel, and split it up and have, see what it's actually gonna cost to get a contractor to do the whole thing. So it might only be, say, 10 grand more than we did ourselves, and we don't have to put our own equipment in, right?
Yeah, tender are all the same though, otherwise you're gonna
Yeah.
have somebody come in and say what the hell.
No, but if we get like separate tenders for a complete job and then tenders for the gravel. You know what I mean, we could see what it's gonna cost just to get the gravel.
Or get them to break it down.
Yeah, bring it down.
Break it down.
That's what we normally do.
And what about the day-to-day stuff? Are you guys clear with how we're doing that? Grading that road
well, we've still been grading it, but,
and then we bill 50/50.
yeah.
And then the same as if it gets gravelled?
Yeah, and then winter time, we usually plow into the harbors too,
Your work place.
which is,
So
that road needs widened out there, we almost lost a grader in there this year over that big pipe, that was close.
So doing this for them barely covers the cost of buying a new grader every 3 years?
We got all the wheels.
That's why we bring the bubble.
Yeah.
Cost recovery is important.
Yeah, exactly right, that's it, right.
But if we're in that area, I guess we'll use our problems, people with our,
That's
For an
let's
area.
narrow that.
The only thing is-
I tried one, once I was in there once and I
Yeah, we
tried
just had a thing with.
fixing it up a little bit, but
Nobody was doing it because everybody thought it was somebody else's job, so, you know. And if you could flip every 5 years or 10 years,
Yeah.
if you guys got the time, right? And then when they come back, they'll do all the shits and then we'll have to.
I'll apologize about the gravel, because I didn't know nothing about that from Tibbetts this week.
yeah, well, actually, we all assumed that, right? And that's what we thought, and that's, you guys thought the other way, and
Well, at least now we're talking, we got it wrote down. The last time was back when Christ was a cowboy, when it was done that.
They didn't have ink back then.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Because if you went from Boxalls down to Cathcart's Corner and you put 300 yards of a mile of gravel on there, well then this way it'll bring it back up to where it should, you
Yeah.
got something to work with.
yeah,
But
Type of
that's what it
letters.
means anyways.
you got nothing there, now I know why there's nothing there.
Yeah, it hasn't been gravel in
Oh, yeah.
2 years probably.
No,
3 years ago, maybe there, you guys might have put,
Yeah,
It's Rosedale.
3 years ago.
might have put 200 yards on, but
Yeah.
then it was in late September, right? So you
Yeah.
know where all that went, was in a ditch, so.
Yeah, I might have known that, I've been doing it every year.
Yeah. Well, that's-
That was back then, yeah, and then this,
That same as mowing, we usually just mow it and then,
Yeah.
you guys have probably got a copy of this from,
I gave that to
Oh,
Karen,
you-
but,
you've already got one from 2008 when Allison was our CAO for $78 an hour or something back then.
way back when, yeah.
78.
Yeah, like it was March
78.
of 2008, Rosedale sent Langford a letter just to inform that you decided to do their share of grading for the boundary road. And like, there's no agreement attached to it, it's just more of a.
They never went any
yeah.
further, yeah.
So then we just said, yeah, sure, and that was it. So I don't know,
And we kept reading it, so.
yeah, but that's a.
yeah, if you guys wanna grade them 3 miles to the highway, how about it? We got enough of our own work, so,
As long as we coincide, right? As long
yeah,
as-
'cause we've been short a grader at this end for 3 months now, 3.5 months, so.
We're okay for greater power now.
You only got one guy running right now, don't you? Yeah. You want to?
Yeah,
Oh,
one
like,
on this whole north end, right?
Yeah.
We're amalgamated now, I don't understand.
Well, 2 wards, the north 2
Nothing
wards.
is dead. A grader doesn't get a flat tire when it goes over.
Doesn't blow up or nothing, doesn't catch fire.
Well, you want us to keep grading it then?
What's counseling? I guess if you don't have the time,
Let us know.
that's the only we can do it. I guess you got Daryl's number, Daryl can say, hey,
We got 3 graders, so
Yeah,
they're all moving.
well, I seen them yesterday, so they'll be going back that way now, so a
They
little late for that.
No, they still gotta do some more of mine supposedly.
but if you need them, like if you got the time.
You can try to
But if we've got an understanding or something wrote
Yeah.
down that whoever's gonna maintain it, that's theirs. Either yours
It
or
was
that's
just
one way or
graded
the other.
across this week, I think, early on this week, so.
So-
Grade that road early on this week, so.
Trish,
Yeah.
you didn't know, all of
They're shitty.
their CEO, and then by the sounds of it, we're gonna manage it, like grade it and gravel it.
Just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
I think we just need to have an agreement in place, just the shared.
Put it in for 3 or 4 years, and then if it's,
Yeah, we can read
if you guys think our graders are too
Next
shiny,
council's gonna
it's
decide.
Yeah.
Just share if a pipe needs put in, share the cost, right?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
How many roads do you guys want?
Come on, you go over your own.
Adam's trying, you should give
You guys want to just do up to 16, eh?
Matt, you know that, any overtime hours are gonna be spent on this.
Yeah. OT, correct, man.
Go, Pete.
How else
And
is-
you'll get some tenders for
Yes,
doing the mile or whatever you want to say down there.
yes, we will, and then we'll meet again or
As
show
soon
you.
as possible.
I think from Boxall's Lane, his west lane, to Buzz's Lane.
But
Yeah,
Because it's already got that natural, you can just build right into that.
it's already dropped down. Just like a step down.
You won't have to dig your
Yeah,
end
you can
in,
do a
you
little
just
bit.
fold it over and.
a little bit of Tanner's Corner wouldn't hurt to go a little bit into the
Yeah.
South, yeah.
that turns into a real pocket in there too.
So what would you guys like to see for material and
Just a screen for at least the first foot, right? Like, don't crush the whole way. Like,
But what are you, 2-inch screen or something, or 3-inch?
yeah, don't go bigger than 2.
You said 2 inches.
2 inches, as long as you keep the gravel up on it, it's not bad. Was that,
It was the
if you get a good
biggest.
6-inch layer or a good layer of road gravel on top, you can, as long as you keep the gravel to it. But once you start getting to that 3-inch, you know, that frost is gonna start and that stuff starts getting hard on them graders, right, in winter time.
And compacted too.
Yeah, yeah.
Or how to use packaging.
We would just do it with the grader, right?
Grader with the pack, cause you gotta pack with the
Yeah,
pack.
yeah.
Like, we did it before without the package,
Yeah.
so as long as you just articulate and
Drive up and down.
pack the crap out of it and we pushed it on with dozers or just put it on with trucks and
So what width would these guys recommend there too?
24 foot
The
tall.
whole road,
Like, geo,
Yeah,
24 feet too?
Yeah.
24 feet, yeah.
24 foot tall. We usually do 2 15-foot rolls and that way you get your 6-foot lap, lots of water, make sure you fold your ends.
Obviously, our whole council is here, but if you guys are gonna tender it, that's perfect. Just put in there most, any tender not necessarily accepted. And then then we can budget it.
Do
If
you
it's
want,
affordable for both of us
Yeah.
to take gas tax money next year's budget and just.
I could send you like what, a draft like tendered what we would do,
Sure.
Kara, and then
Yeah.
you can like
Yeah.
build off that, is
Yeah.
that okay?
I'd have to make sure that shoulders are packed on that tender too.
Yes, yeah.
But,
Memories wasn't packed in.
Yeah, those are done right, 'cause the
Yeah.
more words you put
Cause that's
in
what holds the
there,
road together, right?
Yeah.
because they won't do it if you don't ask.
And even the graders plenty, like just articulate and drop your front end over and run up and down it a couple times just to get it. It's amazing what those graders do.
Daryl does our crushing.
Just-
That's a good guy to get a tender from.
He did our road over there by Spring Hill Colony.
Did it work out good?
Oh, yeah, it's good.
That's what
He
he
does
does.
our crushing too.
Yeah,
He does a lot of crushing.
Yeah.
And he's sitting
We built that
there,
whole
so-
road there by Spring
That's a
Hill,
nice
mile,
part.
Okay.
up to the corner of Spring Hill. And then it did that diversion to build the water to go around.
Well, did he do that north-south road too?
Yeah, he did the north-south road, that's what he did.
On the west side.
And then he
Yeah,
did
you
those
were out
angle
there a lot.
culverts.
Yeah.
You got those angle culverts in there, so now this way they can open the gates and let the water go instead of going through the colony.
And you guys got 3 guys in town here that do that kind of
Yeah.
work too, eh, so. Other than that, how's things going here?
It's flowing.
We need a little rain.
This is a new auto body work right here. Is that your truck?
Yeah, it's
Or they were they?
You guys don't need rain, do you?
No. It wasn't rain that did that.
Yeah, lots of damage.
Mhm.
And actually in North Cyprus, we killed, and Lyford, we killed beavers, I just seen you guys trucking them down. Yeah, let's don't do that. Take them right to town. Holy smoke, they're bad this year, eh?
Yeah.
Up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, they don't stop for union rules or cooperation, nothing those guys.
You see guys?
I wish they did.
Yeah.
But they did make a mess.
Wish we could hire them beavers. They were,
They cost a lot of money.
they do.
Yeah,
You guys are fully staffed now? You got, can we get the name of your operators?
Sam, no.
Curly, there you go. So don't tell
Okay, I know.
There's no
Use a
service.
short staff, like, there's,
Just gotta go to the dollar more, right?
you've been struggling, yeah.
It's just a turnover.
Just gotta go to the dollar more.
Not
Yeah.
just $1, eh?
Anything else then?
no.
Okay.
We'll keep grading
And I'll
anyways.
follow
Good talk
Kara.
anyways.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
No, we need to do this.
Yeah.
And she's back next week, is that right?
So,
I don't know what she's.
Yeah.
mid next week,
She's over in
I
Europe
was
right
seeing
now,
all
I
those
see.
more than you. What the heck down there?
mid next week.
Not much point to gravel in that one chunk if we're gonna do something.
Yeah, cause
Well,
I thought about doing
This will be next summer.
It'll be next summer doing it, not
I
this
don't know
year.
how else do you do, like if it's 50,000, maybe, but if it's gonna be 150,000 a piece.
I know, who
We
knows?
don't got We got other,
Well,
Put the tenders in as soon as possible.
Roughly-
Yeah.
for a while, what was our last one, roughly 120,000?
That's what
Give or take a little?
That's what we guessed.
Like, right, like that's,
For a mile.
how much?
120 for a mile?
that's someone do that.
So half of that.
No.
So half of that, 16, 7.
Would be a ballpark, right? Just,
Is that something
that's
that's
not fine too,
they
by the
would
way.
be where you don't know until you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not quite a mile, it's about
Just
3/4
based
mile.
on old projects.
On that
we've
back
done,
part,
kind of the
The
similar
rest I think
stuff
you can live
needed,
with right now.
But that would be,
Yeah, that's what it's about.
A mile's for a
Get some gravel that other way so you have something to work with now.
With the price of gravel, you can add 20% to that with hauling and all that.
Fuel.
It's, yeah.
Say it's 200 grand, you can look at the budget and see if we got,
real bad.
like I say, we'll pay you what we got.
Well, maybe we could just tell the contractor that too, we'll pay him.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a part of the contract.
Yeah.
It'll limit the quotes we get, maybe that's.
We'll get some numbers, anyways, at least we have something.
But if it's dangerous, I think that's everybody's job here.
Yeah.
Good, safe roads, so
Yes.
we can get it done. Hey?
There's lots of roads up there.
Well, that's, it's a never ending.
Oh, it's a.
Yeah, we're gonna pick one mile at a time and fix it, make it right, and go from there.
Well, if we don't pick one at a time, we won't get any done.
No, agree.
You gotta start somewhere.
At least you're trying, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the main.
and this meeting will help start that goal.
Yeah, hopefully, eventually all goes good.
Already?
Well, thanks.
Nice coming.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank
See you later. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, nice to meet you guys.
You guys got the number? You
Yeah.
got that on tape,
Yeah,
we're not
trust me,
gonna pay the bill.
See your girlfriend on Tuesday.
You got that on tape, we're not gonna pay the bill.
See
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
You're over. You're. Tough man. Hey, you know what I saw, yeah.
Come on, son.
You're supposed to nudge and say ER. You know? Oh, yeah. I was wondering, he's smart. There's your phone, yeah.
Do you have those piece of papers, everybody, for those bolts?
Can I hold it up?
Can we hand that to, as a record?
How much of a boat, they're just numbers, you got, I don't mind.
Just, I better write on here where this is from, I guess.
Yeah.
You can see.
Oh,
It has.
down there. So, Ron from Clem
These are new ones. Yeah, sorry.
William, they never did nothing yet with that aeration cost.
Oh,
So we'll just table it.
Yes, yes.
And we never heard back from our consultant, Tom. So we'll leave that, at least they're trying. Okay, so I'm gonna write on here, purchase of a club cadet. Yeah. That lawnmower, what model?
T,
RZT? RZT.
ZX 4 or something like that, or ZT 4 or something,
Guess we should,
I think is what it is. Buzz knows which one, I can call him back and find out.
maybe better, should be right.
I'll give him a quick call.
How much was it?
Ask you to deliver to the shop today.
81.50 plus tax.
Ask you to deliver to the shop next week. Actually, it's in my yard first thing.
Yeah, we should try it.
Try it.
Yeah. Somebody's gotta put the oil in it.
Still not working.
Do you want that on?
Sorry, is it working here? Oh.
It did, yeah, it did.
It's been very quiet.
Tell me what,
Enjoying it.
you get the odd message pops through. Mine lights up once in a while, that's good.
You're gonna get some stuff.
Yeah.
Can't hard that. Mine just strictly
I've
says,
never got no service.
I got nothing.
Not cool.
Pit run, that's a huge difference.
Can't get that two screen that Jason said, Jason.
But I don't know. That's why I thought I'd ask. I just thought it was good, because we put pictures in, as a 471, but you said codes is there? I remember the graders that get stuck, honestly, you couldn't go through. And the pad dug out probably 18 inches. We put the run in, and of course, I'm sure there was some stones.
Yeah.
That was like a rock.
What was the number, who said the
That's
number?
been 100 years ago.
Most TSC number on?
38 oh
I
nine.
don't know, 30 lot cheap.
Yeah.
A lot cheap.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You certainly didn't swing the material.
Why do you ask me that? I just didn't, like,
That makes you
On Harry Jackson's house, and then east on the dump road. And we didn't do no digging, all we did was all, I don't know, stuff about that big, that gyp rock or gypsum, limestone.
Okay.
Who's those guys from?
Oh, and they all three there, yeah.
That's the guy, that big contractor.
Jakuski.
Jakuski, he dropped stuff. All we did is put it on the road and go with the grader, that just drive on it,
Alright.
smooth it out, back.
Yeah.
They did that a couple of times. That road was like this, we never didn't dig nothing, didn't put no carpet. It just turned like cement.
Yeah.
Well, that road we did last fall, that new hog barn last fall ground, too, they just put the geotechnical road and they put, I'm gonna say put a AVs on top. That's all they did. Had a cap.
Well, part of that is you keep the moisture down and get the, a bit of a crown on top, you can work both ways, like that 120,000 litre pump seems crazy to me. With the haul, especially with only ground, that's good.
Yeah, if it's their own material, yeah.
But I guess you gotta pay half, if you're gonna do, somebody's gotta have a value.
Just not having phone for it, it's not fun.
You know, it's, whether you use your memory on.
That's why I
Well,
asked.
it's not only that, to try to get through to anybody.
Oh,
That's why I asked about geo too, because everybody does it differently. I mean, what I've been told, a lot of people are, well, the geo guys themselves recommend a meter overlap. But I know we did a job, we did, how many kilometers up for, Arm Harrison there, how many years ago that was, they wanted, like, these guys said 5 feet overlap. And that's, well, that was their choice, so that's what they did. The more overlap, the definitely better, but I know definitely you gotta put in, I know they said,
Yeah, we might
driving trucks on.
Hey, Greg,
That
it's not, what's wrong?
You start moving it,
Yes.
and it's up to the bottom.
Well, you can't get through.
That's where you're
right now,
driving.
nothing's
yeah,
going
well, it
through
seems
us.
faster the way they dump, you better dump it quicker, I think, and work your way up to wherever you're going. Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep it right up.
Yeah, we did that years ago, even.
I was trying to get a hold because I need the number for the mower that we were talking about from the RM.
We did a road north of the Paul years ago, with all the scrapers,
Sure, that'd be great going.
and we weren't allowed to come close to the edge. No, we just hauled sand.
Really?
Sand. Well, we were putting about a 4 foot depth over storm. Look at that geo, that time bottom, and you were on it, it was color, it was white. Believe it or not, that white, I never seen that first time I seen that shit. But it was all those, everything was going in. And we put in like, probably 3 foot, that's trying to get one shot. So, one mistake, because if you go any less, it's gonna start doing this, and then that's where you left for a movement.
Yeah.
It'll come back. I wouldn't make it back.
Right, that starts
It's all round.
Yeah, I know it's all.
And then there's one more there.
The difference you're putting in.
The yellow there.
That's just you and Garrett, the next one.
I thought there's a couple places, no, isn't there?
Usually is.
Oh, it's true. You should be beside that fan.
That'd be
One of those commercials.
It's warm here. It's, no, it's warm here.
Too bad the windows didn't
Oh,
open.
honestly. Well, we can make that one.
Yeah, I think it's coming. You have a hammer in the truck, you look.
Is there anything else? Well, Ernie's on the phone. Colleen, you got anything else? No? We were gonna have a special meeting because we gotta talk with, but I don't know if we should wait for haying season to allow us to hay.
I'll be down if you let me get out of here.
Town people are talking about the fire. Maybe we should just leave that for now.
I think we should get to the bottom of it sooner than later though.
Yeah.
We're doing it 2 calls though, right?
Do the other incident.
Do you wanna set a date now then? Is that,
Just make it work.
just make it work?
Cause we got a
If the
second,
town
we
people,
got a days with the same meetings.
okay, well, you know what? We can call a meeting
Oh,
anytime, so we'll check with
What's
the
at the
town.
arm of Rosedale?
Yeah, exactly.
He knows the number there, he had called me earlier, I left him a message.
Yeah.
I just need to know the number, that 60-inch mower up front, the one that he had quoted us on.
Make it one.
49.
Yeah, if you don't mind, make and model is what I need for it, so they can put it down on the resolution, so we can buy this thing from you guys. Make and model, that one he was telling me about. If you don't mind getting a hold of him as soon as possible, would be great. Thank you much. Bye. Can't find Buzz right now, but he says as soon as I grab him, he says, I'll get him the phone in the RM office.
Anything else from anybody?
I said, I think it's a ZT4 or something like that. It's in the mid-industrial.
Could I just say company that more?
Yeah, zero turn.
Cause you didn't quote anything else, we quoted a Skag and a Toro, you said?
Toro. But then you call it back,
Purchase
so I
a
can get it.
Cub Cadet zero turn lawnmower for $8,150, right?
Yep, that's that.
Plus taxes from TIC.
Yep.
And I need someone to move. Scott?
I'll second.
Sure.
All three.
The third.
All in favor of this?
Yeah, that'll work down.
Motion's on the open.
My opinion is, just like anything else, get rid of it, but that's just me. Why are we buying new one, right? If it's
So we got two for replacing one and two.
Yeah, but if we're always giving grief, why are we buying a new one?
Let's go on more, do you not think we should pay that $600 to fix the one we have right now, so at least it's not.
He said there's spindles, he said there's a
No,
bunch.
the old one is spindles. The crap one is, sell crap.
It's a
It's up to you.
The other,
It's a steering.
Yeah.
Well, we already bought, paid for that.
Yeah.
Steering part, right?
no, he returned, he took it
Oh, I
back.
took it back.
You turned that.
We got a bill here for 700.
Yeah, he returned the fact, he said.
But we should almost get that back, fix that more.
I think so.
when we
You know,
have
I
two.
would say two
Keep to
better.
it.
Can you get rid of the old
I
tractor?
would fix it, sell that
It's old.
Yeah.
If we don't do like $100,000 for $600 right now, that covers the cost to fix our new one.
But
That's what I would do, they
what he said.
sell it for $600.
What's that?
So now it goes up for sale for $600.
Stupid little rods. That's all it was, and they've been before, where you won't have that with this one zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no sense not having it fixed either,
No.
We need two lords.
I think that's.
We'll get rid of the old tractor one, keep the 0 turns.
2 0 turns will be done quicker and they're mowing grass, like mean grass is growing every day.
It mows.
Yeah, it's $1,400.
$600. We can't buy an old one, or I tried, I want an old one, we can't buy it, $600, you bet.
Kind of deal for you.
Yeah, used to look at it, like right on each side sold run on the $400 all day long, good ones, and $600. That's
See, there we
cheap.
go, we got it sold.
It's like that.
I did another one.
Yeah, go to guy one?
$700.
Oh, I hadn't even heard that.
I got 3 of them at home, so I don't need
We need
another one.
100, Robert.
Oh,
it's
The coloring mouse one.
$650.
Anything else from anybody?
I like it.
No, I'm not saying like that's, like if I needed another one, I'd have one for $600 a piece.
I just wanna ask, or I should have, we should have asked
One
her
cent.
earlier. My rate there is just still saying, why are these graders chasing the show? I'm just gonna bring that up again. I know I did brought it up last time, but I'll bring it up again. So I'm just wondering what you guys think.
Well, I had, the guys come by my place, well, before they were doing the calcium. This was 2 days before they were coming by, and they were weed whacking around the stage to mark for calcium. I don't know why 2 guys were coming around there, there's 2 guys, one guy was leaning on the tailgate, the other guy was weed whacking. Then when he was done weed whacking, the guy was leaning on the tailgate, opened the tailgate, so the guy put the weed whacker in, he closed the tailgate and got the truck away.
They go in pairs.
I know, I'm just saying. And then, then they come around to do the calcium spots for the grader, and put 2 graders. To do 300 feet in front of my house.
So the back one had the backer on it, didn't it?
Yeah. It don't matter, like, the guy with the bagger could just And
Lots of,
that's-
lots of sites that they go guys.
I don't know, our place, the one guy.
I just think we're gonna mile them out if we keep doing what we're doing.
You know, we made just a few little roads up in the hills, half a mile road, 3 meters, and turn around. They wait for each other till they're in, and they pick up their blades and go back on it. That doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to the people that are telling me this to.
One thing I've noticed anything to Darryl, and I should. My personal feeling is, I don't think we should be traveling on number 5 highway on the shoulder. They're going booting down that shoulder, there's stones and dust.
Okay,
We could travel on our own road,
right,
you know?
That's true.
And I just thought, I go over and I go by too, and it looks pretty
kind
through the dust, but
of, yeah,
it's a small thing, but it isn't if you're a traveler, yeah.
I look at it as long as the work gets done, that's just me.
Yes,
They're covering lots of ground, the way they run those three, is a threesome together, whatever you call it, they're getting lots of done, I think, so it works, I mean, work takes us square for the most part, so I got a couple days in those too, but it's working for us.
If you go down Road 87 by my house, it's no wider than one blade of the grader. Three graders going down it, and then all the way down the road is going.
I haven't seen 3 together.
Oh, yeah, and just the other day, I come up behind it with my car, and they all, 2 of them went off the road and one went around the corner, because I caught them right at the end of the road.
I've seen 2.
I just think it's.
For one of you guys, only less than 2.
yeah, that's why it is.
But no, like 2, it works fine, whatever, you know, like, cause you're pulling one way, pulling back the other way, but the third guy coming and, it doesn't work.
But I guess they have a plan that's working, so we go look around, we drive.
Honestly,
we're not-
you drive all the way up to the north corner of Coors Lake, and you pick up your blade, and where do you travel to? Back to the shop.
Yeah.
What are you grading with?
Yeah, he'll tell you why.
Where do you go?
I just thought when we got the
So
third
it's-
grader that we were gonna spread them out, 2 guys this way. Like 1 guy here knows 2, 1 guy knows 2, 1 guy knows 2.
But I'm saying that, and so are the people. And people, I'm just saying what they're saying.
I never heard one comment. That's just me too. I talk to a lot of people.
Number 2, the opposite around, just do that, my word, just not a lot saying about that.
Otherwise, I'd say if somebody can approach me, but nobody can approach me.
I don't know, I've just commented a few times the Rosedale parade.
Yeah, no, I say I like it, so I don't think that's.
I don't know nothing.
I
No,
we can
of
discuss
course,
the
lucky.
comments all I want, but I don't think now's the time to listen to comments.
Well, I know, I'm just saying.
I think we're pretty lucky, we got a person in all our machines.
Did you not?
We just talked,
I
well,
was just,
I was saying, can't get a body in there, so.
There's just one or hell in me.
Yeah, we gotta keep our crew guys happy as we can.
We had the same problem as they did before, remember, some guys weren't staying very long or leaving. Yeah. Trend is kind of quick, we upped our wages, and we paid the best wages around as far as the operators. I don't know how we compare now. We must be on, pretty close,
Well, it was nice for your guys that they've been with us 10 years, 12 years, whatever number of years, and still stay on the stage, so.
we'll adjourn this meeting, so that we now
don't
adjourn
go
this.
too soon, Mike, because,
Andrew doesn't really wanna go home to work.
Oh,
yeah, Andrew's
regular meeting at, 2:20 PM to meet again, just for our regular meeting. Guess we can call a special meeting.
You can talk to the town guys too.
Yeah, we better coincide, there's no sense calling.
I think I got a picture of this guy's car. All about the accident.
So August the 12th.
Thank you.
At 10. Oh, you're on. Thank you. At 10 AM.
August 10th,
Yeah. August the 12th, sorry.
well,
That you're cool.
Yeah.
August the 12th.
You got 2 of those?
Huh?
You get the second one?
Can I get someone to move?
I just wrote it on.
Okay, Scott and Summers,
I can't get the other one that comes through on email.
Oh, right.
we're all in favor of this. Motion carried.